Welcome to Rise of Mind,
where we don't ever start on time. There we go.
where you don't ever
It's
start
got
on
true.
time, Mr. CP.
Don't forget, you get a shout out from AAA Insurance. We got the card over here. We got Patrick Wiener. They call him Pat Wiener.
Shout out from AAA Insurance.
I think it's Weiner, but
Yeah.
his name is Patrick Wiener.
Pat Wiener.
Poor bastard. No wonder he grew up to become an insurance agent.
Bitch,
God damn
I
it.
said what I said. We got insurance instead.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for your patience, everybody.
Unplugging our Yeti microphone because somehow in between me and CP coming in,
CP plugged in the headphones and that's what did it.
it just done fucked itself right off the computer.
I love the CP from the background. I plugged in the headphones.
Come in.
Ah, there we go.
Okay. We're gonna the input only.
I have a hearing of you from the microphone.
Oh. Let me. Okay, it's on the good setting that we like. So I should be sounding okay, but hopefully CP is sounding like amazing and beautiful for you.
You sound amazing and beautiful as well, so.
You sound amazing and beautiful.
Thank you. It's because of your Yeti microphone that you let me borrow.
Oh, are you using it? Do you like it? Have you messed around with it?
The first stream I did with it, I sounded like smooth as hell, and I had to do very little. And I was like, oh, I get it now.
Did you download the Logitech G Hub?
No, I didn't need to. I already had all my own. I had I have voice mod, acts like that.
Oh.
Voice mod already does that, so.
Okay. So on my, I guess it's okay. There was a weird lag on the video for a second. It's still doing it. Does it?
Yeah.
No, on mine.
I don't see the lag on yours.
So like the voice and mouth are matched up when I'm talking. Okay. So it's just here. I don't know. And apparently we live on the surface of the sun because it's so freaking bright. How are you switching back and forth between wearing the Rise of Mind flannel and not? Are you in the Matrix?
Who's asking this?
I'm asking it to you.
How do I switch between wearing it and not wearing it?
Yeah, so it's going between you frozen like with your t-shirt on and then the video of you with the flannel on, and it looks like a glitch in the Matrix. It's
God.
really, really funny. It's really funny.
This is the point of this is why we do the this is
Oh my god, it's doing it again. It's so weird.
This is why we do the live broadcast, because you guys get all these tastes of difficulties that we encounter.
So funny. That's gonna mess with CP. You keep doing that Matrix stuff. He's gonna love it.
He will.
We can hear you, so that's the most important thing. Even if half of you is like, well, it's more like,
oh, that's good.
Gotta get the face right.
Yeah.
With your hair down, leaning over your shoulder, all like.
Figuring it out?
Yeah, we're good. We Gucci.
Nice.
Okay, he was like, "We figuring it out," and then he walked off. So, hi.
That's okay.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Coolidge.
Hey, Jennifer Coolidge. How are you doing today? Welcome to Rise of Mind.
I'm so good, thank you.
What? my goodness. So funny.
I love Jennifer Coolidge. She's great.
Pretty great.
Your Matrix is cracking me up. I fucking love it. It's really funny. I'm glad you're not actually in the Matrix because I feel like that might hurt. If you were to be a glitch in the Matrix, I think it would be painful.
Probably would. Probably would hurt.
Do you think?
No. No, I do my best not to think. I just act, just blindly.
Do you think that if you were in the Matrix, because like you would have feeling and everything, you're jacked in, so it's like a real experience. You feel everything, right? But if you started glitching, like would that hurt or you wouldn't feel it? I feel like it would hurt.
If it was a universal glitch, of actual glitch in like the Matrix that is the universe, you technically wouldn't feel it because it would be a glitch that would go throughout all of time and space and reality itself. So your brain is just matter and energy, so it would not actually get affected in the way that you'd think. You wouldn't even notice the glitch happening unless you were standing outside of the universe watching it from the outside.
So like Penelope Von Sweets. Yeah, Vanellope. Wait, what's her name? Anyway, from Wreck-It Ralph. Like when she glitched, it probably didn't hurt her. Could you imagine if it hurt her and every time she glitched, she was like, ow, ow, it hurts so bad through the whole movie? That would be so traumatizing.
That's the type of glitch that is physical to the object within the universe that, yeah, you would feel it. It would hurt a lot.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's like what's happening to you.
In
like
fact,
you should be...
The concept of pain isn't necessarily a factor. It would just be,
yeah,
it would be monumentally uncomfortable. I don't think pain is the only feeling you would feel. If you're glitching, you'd feel joy and euphoria, and you'd be horny at the same time as all the pain, and like you'd feel nervous and scared. It'd be all at once because like your brain is
so
also
what
just
you're
signals.
saying is the glitch in the Matrix might feel similar to the euthanasia roller coaster.
Holy shit.
Do you know about this?
Sorry, I don't. We have the technical difficulties screen up, so the viewers missed it. But Abso said that sentence, and then
throwing you out of the studio.
He walks by. Holy shit! Keeps walking. So good.
So,
holy
so there's
shit.
You're screaming.
Explain that again.
You're screaming.
Yeah, so there's, I know, it's because I have headphones on. So there's this thing.
That's my coffee.
I know, I was drinking some, I'm sorry.
What the fuck is going on here?
So there's this thing that an engineer / artist designed that was like, it's called the euthanasia roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
And what it is a series of loops. It's an actual roller coaster. It wasn't built, it was just an idea. And so you go up really, really slow to the top. So you have this like contemplative ride up to the top before you go on this crazy ride out of existence.
I love that.
And then when you get to the top, you can be like, oh no, I don't actually want to do this, and push a button. But if you choose to continue, it's a series of like loops that gets tighter and tighter and tighter. So what happens is you're actually like spinning around yourself kind of into smaller and smaller bits until eventually you just become unconscious and die.
Yes. I want to become unconscious and die. So
No, you don't.
That's why I say no to the roller coaster.
Yeah.
I choose not to ride it.
Say no.
It would just say no to the roller coaster. This is a dare announcement.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. It's totally like a G-force thing, and it just like it gives you that euphoria feeling, and eventually you would become unconscious, but it keeps whirling you around until your heart stops. I don't picture very many people in end of life situations actually choosing to do this, but maybe.
Maybe. Scarlett would know, actually. Scarlett's in the chat here. She's seen people in a lot of end of life situations. I feel euphoria on roller coasters, but you also feel fear right after the euphoria or right before, or yeah.
Yeah, and so this is designed to keep you in the euphoria feeling until.
That is what that being glitched out in your own universe would feel like.
Yeah. So it would feel like a euthanasia roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So see, this is what Rise of Mine ends up like. If App goes on it, I'm really sorry.
No, I love it because it spawned that whole you said the euthanasia roller coaster, and then CP walks by half asleep. Holy shit! It's like
yeah. Well, I come up with some pretty like wild stuff sometimes, and that's why I'm not.
CP's playing Missile Command in the background.
Nasty woman.
Who's a nasty woman?
Nasty. I'm a nasty woman. Ooh, I'm Jennifer Coolidge.
I'm Jennifer Coolidge.
I'm so nasty. Okay. I guess I'm fired. Bye.
No, you're not fired. Bye. Thank you for coming on, Jennifer Coolidge. I appreciate you.
Hey.
CP, tell her she's not fired.
What?
Tell her thank you for having Jennifer Coolidge on the show.
Thank you for having Jennifer Coolidge on the show.
That was great. Good morning, CP Sketch. How are you?
Oh, good.
We're now in the intro portion of Rise of Mind.
All right, well, welcome to Rise of Mind, everybody. I'm CP Sketch, and it's time for 2024.
Yeah, we're now the first recording of 2024.
For the first podcast to record in 2024.
Yes.
This time, a week. No, everyone's taking a week off, and we're the first ones to come back from vacation.
Yes.
You've caught us here.
I didn't take a week off.
The only podcast on the internet right now. Rise in Mind.
Yeah, we're the only ones that are alive at this time.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. The world has ended. We have risen. And we don't mind.
Abso broke my brain with that euthanasia roller coaster.
Don't think too much.
It's way too early for that. I'm already like, whoa, my own mortality, and we haven't even begun yet. This is supposed to be the deep dives shit, not the intro shit.
the Matrix had you. Yeah, that's right. I think Vanellope Von Sweets was in pain.
For some reason, it's connecting through there. Hold on,
what?
CP.
I think she's in pain.
Why did it pick up CP's voice but not Absol's?
Because my voice extends across all boundaries. It knows no jail, and it travels through the mist and finds you.
I have Discord on a separate audio source.
I got a dick sword too, dude.
I don't have a dick sword. Do you have a dick sword?
That's what it is. The dick sword.
I think I might have fixed it. I think he was just too loud in my ears. I think I'm just just trying to deafen myself with your voice and everything I do, because I guess you're not supposed to have the volume all the way up in your headphones at all times.
Apparently not. You know, you don't have to. The speed fucking limit is the speed limit. It doesn't mean you're supposed to go faster or you can go slower. I don't know why I'm using that as an example, but the point is you don't have to go full out.
No.
I know that's a hard thing to get into.
Storm of Iron's trying to throw me off too. The chat is trying
What?
to throw me off like crazy this morning.
Raccoons have a penis bone. Yeah, okay, whatever.
They do have a penis bone, but now I'm thinking about that and the euthanasia roller coaster. Are there
Well, I
raccoons
can-
on the roller coaster? Do they know they have a bone in the penis? Are they aware of it?
The animals don't have to go on a roller coaster, dude. They just walk out in what I call the strip of death, aka the road. And they just that's it. Oh shit. There's all kinds of stuff here that
We were talking about dick swords. That's right. We were. That's true.
Hmm?
By
Oh,
the
man,
way,
this
chat,
coffee's weird. I think she made me an instant coffee.
How do
2024 is a bust.
How do I sound with the new the microphone I'm testing that I borrowed from Dreamers Arcade? Chat, how do I sound?
Borrowed. I ain't never getting that thing back. Fucking first mistake I made.
I honestly will buy it from you if you guys want, because like if I can't buy it from you, I'll just buy one myself. But
2 pulls and a back rub.
Sure.
Whoa! See, he's quick. He's quick to work that deal out. He's like, I've been wanting to do that deal.
No, I just care about my friends, and if that's what you need, if that's what you need,
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm good for today.
Okay.
So yeah, 2024. We already started our year off. Pretty epic. Sorry, we did not do any extra footage for you guys for some fucked up reason. We did not record Space Viking comes to the Dreamers Arcade for the first time. Why the fuck we didn't do that? I don't know.
We didn't do any videos at all, but we're also jumping around like crazy. It was like this, but this, and this, but this, and this thing, and then we went for a drive, and then listened to rap. And we got some weed.
Oh well, I always do that. What? We didn't do that at all.
We didn't. I got it right over here. I can show you.
No, you're not supposed to bring that back home.
You're not. It's already in my house. They need a warrant.
Well, you just broadcast it. All right,
I don't fucking care.
Rise in Mind 2024.
No one cares.
We're coming at you. Space Viking 42 has now officially come to the Dreamers Arcade. Not today, but this Missile Command's on here because he was last playing it. It's still on.
Mm-hmm. I got pictures.
He has proof.
I got proof.
And we have proof. We'll put some on the socials. He went to the mural, and we have a little ram wall officially in the capital of Maine. That's the kind of pull I've got around here.
Mm-hmm.
I could troll. I know this is a secondary office to the mountain base of Ram where this guy lives. Oh, he's fucking out of here. But where he lives, he's into the real rock, and it's rocky around here. But this is a satellite location, so to speak.
I got the proof.
You got the proof? Oh, he had to go get it. He had to go show you.
I did have to go show you. I did. There's me in the worst picture imaginable.
That's pretty fun though, man. What were we doing there? Is that in the arcade?
We were just posing in the arcade. That's like the best picture ever. And then here's me freaking the hell out playing Missile Command.
See, there he is.
He's like,
it's a perfect Polaroid because it's all fucking ceiling, you know?
Yeah.
If you miss pictures of ceilings, get a Polaroid camera again. For some reason, they love to be the focal point of everything anyone ever does.
Something about ceilings, yeah. Something about them.
This room's so big that the person is actually getting absorbed into it. Yeah, that's usually what happens in those pictures. Yeah, so here we are. Man, a new year, a new time. No, this isn't a new time slot. This is us being sleepy. Long week. How was your week, man?
My week was also very long. I can't talk about details at my job, but we had to make some difficult decisions, and they definitely can weigh on you sometimes. Pretty
They
heavy. Pretty
fucking
heavy.
fired. They fired his ass finally. They had to make some difficult. Wasn't a
No,
difficult decision for them.
this is
it was
one-
more of a difficult decision on his end.
Someone technically got fired, yes, but not in the employment sense.
I thought maybe it was you. You let your hair down. You're being your true self now.
Yeah, I said new.
Like,
I said new year,
me
new
being
me,
me.
and then they said nope, you're out. No, my boss and I actually had a really long hug. Like that's the kind of relationship I have at work with my boss, where like we had a really tough couple days, and then he came in, he was eating his food, and he was like, "Hey Matt," I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Thank you for not being a total scumbag." I was like, "Oh man, thank you." And then he's like, "Can I hug you?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can hug me." And we hugged each other.
Oh man.
And I'm,
Yep.
And I'm like,
That's when you know you're starting the year off good. Hugging it out with the boss. Like, I don't know how we're gonna get through this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Residual 2023 is gonna be like hard to shake off.
Well, you wanted to talk more about that, actually, like the residue of 2023. You wanted to talk about the journey.
Yeah, we did a whole thing, right? When did we officially start?
In?
Yeah, wasn't it like right after an artist retreat in November, or
Let's see, we officially started an artist retreat in November. I was still doing it as just coffee and contemplation.
Yep.
And then we started as sort of like, you know what, I gotta change this name if I'm gonna actually make episodes, because the name's obviously taken. You know, Coffee and Contemplations from Stranger Things. And there was, of course, and there was already a podcast called Coffee and Contemplation that was about Stranger Things, and I'm like, oh, well, we gotta change it. The first, like, you'll see if you guys go back into the Spotify and Apple Podcasts episodes, the first couple episodes, we're still calling it Coffee and Contemplation.
Yeah, that's some deep lore right there. Get into those old ones.
Actually, our most listened to episode is, surprising no one, the first one, because people will start the podcast and be like, oh, I got to go back to the first one. But it's also the longest listening time, stats-wise.
Oh.
Like, there's something about the subject matter that people really liked.
Maybe they crash out to it and they just have to keep starting it back over.
That happens to me with certain things.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time.
Storm says that he'd like the fabric of the universe to be undone on some of my coworkers. Storm wants the euthanasia roller coaster to happen to some of his coworkers.
You know, sometimes it's frustrating. I get it. What's that fucking cup you got going on
This
there?
is Wolf Lake. You remember my
Wolf Lake?
You remember the wolf that I admire so much? That's my friend. That's your enemy.
There he is.
There he is. That fucking guy.
And we couldn't just to update, we couldn't destroy Falcor as we said on the last show.
The big group
Excited about that.
podcast. Storm, I have our New Year's episode to edit and release, and then I'll do our group one after that. Because the group ones kind of got pushed back. The editing of those is pretty difficult. Just saying. Like, it's a lot of different voices to figure out, like, where I should stop each segment and what to cut out and what to keep.
Storm's like, it's all fucking perfect. Leave it in. It's gold. It was probably all gold, right?
It's
except for
the
that part
majority
when
of it-
Space Viking started it.
What do you mean?
Once we started it, it wasn't gold. But before that, before we started the podcast, I don't know, I'm just fucking around.
I mean, from that weekend, I should have recorded more stuff for our YouTube and I need people to have a reason to go to our YouTube. Shout out to chat. What do you want to see from background stuff, like behind the scenes stuff? Like, what would you want to see?
Yeah. So this is kind of our annual meeting at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, fuck it, roll it all in. So we're starting our new year, and yeah, any suggestions for new topics, revisits, things you might like to see us do on location, games within the theme of mining, things like that you'd like to see us play. Or maybe not. Maybe
There's-
we go a little off brand for a Saturday and
There
play
is-
Ninja Turtles. But whatever you guys want.
There is one thing in the works for behind the scenes stuff, which we're working on out the details of. There is going to be a trip to Maine at some point, featuring
Usually.
myself and CP in sexy
Well,
outfits.
I don't have.
in the
I don't have to take a very big trip.
in the outdoors, doing working man, hard working, every man kind of stuff. And we're gonna have 12 pictures, and we're gonna do a 2025 calendar. Rise in mind.
I've been pitching this to everybody for so long. It just is like, oh, I think I've been doing it as a joke, and then I find the crazy asshole that actually wants to do it. Now
we're doing it.
Like, man, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, no, we're doing it. In fact, I might get my buddy Jono to come up too. We'll get some other men in on this, and we'll see. Maybe Jesse will come up and do some pictures with us too. We need an artist one. We need him to have we need Jesse to have the paintbrush in his mouth and just shirtless with paint all over his chest.
This is. I think this is your fantasy,
dude. It's not.
It's not how I picture him.
You gotta put your head in the mind of someone who would want this calendar. What do you want to see when you see the words "Rise in Mind" Burly Man calendar? What do you want? What would you want if you were looking for that?
Who is this for? And with a calendar of male models, and you put "Rise" at the title already, like it's like, and then "Mind" it gets a bit S&M. I mean, come on, we're leaning.
Look, we're gonna do some S&M shots because we need the tie down. There's gonna be a tie down
with Storm or Joe maybe, but side Rambros.
Well, if Storm or Joe wanted to drive up to Winthrop and this adventure, that'd be awesome.
We're gonna do it out here. No, we're gonna do it in the beach.
We're gonna have one beach picture because that's summer. It's July. And then we have to do a holiday one with us in just Santa hats. Storm, you're welcome to come take some of these burlesque photos with us. Seriously.
Holy fuck.
More like Burley-esque.
I mean, sorry, Storm. I came up with this bit a while ago, and now he rolls with these things. So you gotta,
it's happening.
you gotta make. It's a new year. It's
Got those details. These details are being sorted out.
Burly man body positivity.
Yep.
You could represent your community today. Just email Rise in Mind Podcast at gmail.com, I think, right?
Call 1-800-RISE in Mind to talk to one of our operators today and order your Rise in Mind 2025 calendar.
Dude, can I buy that phone number?
We can actually, but it's expensive.
Can we get 1-800-RAM Bros? Oh wait, that separate people might be calling for different reasons. Ram Bros.
900 buff cal.
That's the other way around though. You need the 3. See, I'm already religious. That doesn't work as a number, Storm. It needs to have the 3 then the 4.
How do you even put that in? What number of what pattern do you put in? How many times do you press the 9 to get F?
I mean, you can do the carryover thing, but that's a little confusing when you say.
Yeah.
I mean, OG phone numbers, Storm. You are from the genesis of rotary phones.
Genesis
and Velociraptors, fucking connecting circuit boards and shit. Like, you have a call waiting. Fucking Velociraptors at the switchboard.
Iron, you didn't have to correct that. We knew what you meant. You're good. So
now it says 1-900 buff facal.
This is what. So that's one of the things that I'm planning for the coming year for us to do of behind the scenes additional stuff. Is a Burly Man calendar.
Yeah. Because we killed it. Space Viking comes to the Dreamers Arcade. We got all the found. Could have led so strong. What were we thinking, dude? We did great. We actually did a New Year's episode though. That's fantastic. Even though we didn't get many episodes, we didn't get a bonus episode out of me being there. That's fine.
But I think there was a lot of emotions flying around though too. Because you guys were like in a mad dash to get your house clean for me to be there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the it's kind of put together. Like I got to take it back apart, but at least now it's like for the new year it's workable. So yeah, I got the construction project kind of tied back in for a minute. So it is kind of nice. Ever since you've gone home, I feel like I kind of have a home a little bit more again.
I don't even have the perspective of what it looked like before, so I'm glad that you guys are feeling better about it.
Well, yeah, there's just like a ton of shit in this room, and now at least it's like put over there, and there's the plastic putting up because I've taken down walls. It really helps give you like the idea of how it goes together now more, and it's just like it's the gloom, dude. If anyone wants to know, but it's like you can't have too much stuff, man, and when you get into a room and there's just too much, it's
Gloom might be the perfect way to go into the breaking ground, the groundbreaking. That's the word, right?
I thought the fucking buff call is
like the buff call might be a good breaking ground thing too. But we're going back on this journey. We're fighting the gloom together in the mines.
We are fighting the wait. We're doing a crossover now.
Doing a crossover, breaking ground.
Breaking ground.
I don't know. I wrote it on a dinosaur.
Actually, I would totally picture you with like your drill in one hand, your other hand on the reins, and it's a T-Rex, and you're like, rise and bind.
Riding on a Pac-Man.
And I'm just sitting there like freaked out, like where the hell did you even get that thing to ride in on it? And where'd you even find that thing?
I got it in the ground.
I found it in the ground. It's one of the dragons. It's one of the Drogars. What are they called again?
Where are you gonna get the dragon? I'm gonna get the dragon in the ground.
No, the dragon.
That's where the
dragon in the ground. The dragon in the ground is from Dig Dug. What are they called?
Those are called Fygar.
Fygars.
Fygar.
You can CP sketch riding in on a Fygar that he found in the ground.
Yep. You're fucking bouncing in on a puka.
That would just make me sick, probably.
Yeah. It's like a fucking giant squishmallow. He's trying to hold on to it. Hey, you got to use squishmallow as a pillow. So, what do you think of that, huh?
That was great. Nice. That was the most comfortable pillow I've ever had.
Yep. He got some real decadent treats here at the Dreamers Arcade. But so yeah, we're fighting gloom in the tunnels. I'm coming in on a Fygar. 2024. Do more.
A Fygar here. Let's really break ground here. Right? Who are we? Who are you?
Who are you? We're gonna do this again every 3 months. We just
no, we're not.
We reevaluate.
What I mean by that is we're welcome to Rise of Mind. I'm Matt Crafton, aka Space 2, and I have with us
CPist.
CPist.
The CPEist. That was pretty fucked up. I am CP Sketch of the Dreamers Arcade, and we have collaborated in our underground battle to fight the forces of dreadful gloom and darkness. We're just trying to figure out how to get ourselves, up in the sunshine sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
When you're under the ground, we're gonna try to. I don't know. We gotta sharpen our drills and get some new equipment. We've been on a vacation for a little while on the snow level.
This is what CP wrote in on, one of these guys. This is a Fygar. So we based our podcast around Dig Dug. And the main reason that we did that was because sometimes you have to dig pretty deep into your own mind and fight these monsters.
Because Dig Dug is fucking rad. It was a cool game that I liked when I was growing up. And all these Atari games fueled my imagination to
we gotta get
make me
costume.
who I am. Make me who I am today. I gotta refresh this thing. It's so fucking behind.
It's how you became who you are today.
So yeah, it's a big part of who I became who I am today, as far as like my inspiration. and that's a game that I always hung on to, and I did with Donkey Kong as well. So I was like, why those games? And it took me a long time to think because I'm dumb, and I figured out that it's because they're these dudes who work hard, or they dig in the ground, or they build structures, and that was what I was raised around, like carpentry, and just beer drinking men, boomers and shit, and it was a vibe. And the world's changed quite a bit since then. I don't know if you've noticed, but yeah, it's a lot more concerned with mental health, men's health, how people feel. And Viking and I are two guys that, at our age, we're kind of in between two generations. He's leaning a little bit further back to the sensitivity, but
Yeah.
I have some real sardonic, cynical views of the world, leaning so Gen X. We're interestingly like kind of in this weird middle between sensitivity and stoicism, and we're digging around to try to figure out where we're going.
For me, my hat isn't straight, and it's making me like obsess over it. No,
yeah.
So I was in you're a contractor, correct? Like you do contract work, contracting.
Well, at this point in my life, I am a self-employed free agent, and I'd like to say that's what I started as.
Do it all.
Working in the shadow of the old Hogbog himself, my old man,
Hogbog.
learning carpentry. I want a Hogbog.
I want us to have a Hogbog emote. Really bad.
Well, I'm supposed to be creating the Dig Dug diet. We're working on our health a little bit this year. That's one of my primary goals.
We're going to be doing is the Dig Dug health plan.
Yeah, we're starting a Dig Dug health plan for you guys right now. It's a lot of coffee.
Every day you add 2 feet to your hole. You're not really wrong. No, you go outside and you dig a hole, and every day you dig 2 feet deeper.
What's up, first timer? Zombie Took Luke. What's up,
zombie? Took zombie. Welcome.
Straight from hell, dude. He's straight from hell. So he's dug down lower than we have. Welcome to the channel.
Duke's
I don't know. Maybe. What? Hell could be lower or higher. We don't know in the
or lower or higher.
Remember when they put your husband in the ground?
Last night playing Baldur's Gate 3. Holy shit! They put someone's husband in the ground. She tried to resurrect him.
Oh, really?
It was messed up. That was like we're doing our good guy playthrough, right? Let's talk a little bit about altruism and trying to be a good person, right? Sometimes you can make all the right choices, right? You can make all the right choices and nobody's happy. Nothing ended up well. We did everything we thought was right by like what being a good person standards are, and it messed up. No one was happy. We killed a witch. We accidentally killed her brothers. We saved her. She wanted to resurrect her husband. We killed her husband because he was a zombie. She got upset and attacked us. We killed her. And it's like, we were just trying to help, man. We were just trying to help. We just wanted to do good things for people.
That's why you just gotta do what you want, because like it's subjective, good, bad.
Yeah.
I
quit worrying about being a good person and just be a good you.
I stand on the fence, man, and I look down at one group and another group, and I feel like there's zombies trying to pull me down, or and I'm like, I gotta try not to fall off this goddamn fence. But I'm down on the fence. So yeah, that's a good topic for the year. Altruism. We're putting together our. Just give me a fucking heads up on that one.
Sorry, as part of breaking ground, yeah, we're starting a new year. We want to do new things better things for our bodies, right? That's one thing you were starting to talk about. I'm
gonna
excited
develop
to
a Moxie protein shake. That's one thing I'm gonna get into. The Moxie fucking
see. This is
mayhem shake.
CP. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about for the blog. Like we have the blog that I want you to start putting some stuff in. I would like you to. This isn't a demand or even a suggestion. It'd just be cool if you have ideas and you put them in a Google
What the
Doc.
fuck was that?
That was my phone
Is your
being
order-
on for some
Is
reason.
your order ready?
Yeah, that was my
Your order ready?
That was my DoorDash order. Sorry.
Jesus Christ, man.
We got the Google Docs that you can go into. You can sign into Rise and Mind on the Rise and Mind Google, and then if you open Docs, it'll open the docs that we both have access to. So if you want to like put your musings down, like for instance the protein shake recipe, we can put that in the blog for people. We can be like, here's the protein shake recipe for Rise and Mind. You got to put some Moxie in it.
Well, I got to figure it out. You know, I've been working on it on my own sideline, doing some Moxie experimentation with coffee. You found that
I saw that
a little bit of Moxie and a little bit of coffee. That's kind of a thing. So I'm messing around with that, and it'll probably be something I just do an improv video too.
Right.
Like, let's see if we can make this fucking thing good.
That'd be great
I mean,
too.
I'm already screwing myself over by using Moxie, but you know, because like 70% of the world already is just like, nope.
So, part of this health plan, other than the protein shake, like I know we wanted to start working out more. There's another Instagram that I might start posting on more, and I have invited CP to also post on it with me if you'd like, and we could double team that account as well.
Oh Jesus, you calling it double team, and I call that account Matt's thirst trap.
We're gonna double team the thirst traps, guys. So I have an Instagram account called always worthy 42 that back when I lost 40 pounds, I was documenting it, and something about documenting it made my brain take it way more seriously. And I actually kept up with it because I was inspiring others. I had people being like, "Yeah, I get it," and I was like, "Oh man, people actually really want to see you improve yourself. It's not just your brain, but also your body."
Yeah, and it inspires them because then it makes them feel like it's obtainable. So it's a good thing to document this stuff. I've found this. I haven't done it like on a Instagram level so much, but when I was doing a program where I recorded all my meals and certain things like that, you have to have the accountability to. And I shared them a lot in Discord, so it was like it became more about the presentation and the process, and it changed the way that I was making things. I had tons of time. It was during the pandemic, so it was like that was a different time, brother.
It was a different time.
It did help, and I can see like you also are supposed to like weigh yourself every day, so you can't like it's the difference between being out of. I hated it too, dude. But I tell you what, when you figure out like you're like, how did I gain 3 pounds in a day? And you're like, oh, I ate this sauce that had all this.
Yeah.
To notice
me,
like
though,
what shit actually does to you.
I can't count calories or weight. I go by how my clothes feel because I need like the more tactile sense. If I start to not fit into pants, I'm like, I'm doing something. And then Took wanted us to go back a bit about the so our sort of mission as Rise in Mind. We were talking about you being a carpenter or a contractor, and you said you don't really do that anymore. You do sort of a bit of everything, right?
Well, it's because I'm my own boss, and it's not under any type of company. I'm winging it, dude. Like, do your thing, do whatever you want, and I do everything from maintenance, some carpentry, and then I could be doing chauffeur. I could be doing you name it, dude. Like all kinds of stuff. I've been just like taking jobs for whatever at the same rate. And then of course there's art too, so what I can't grind out in my side hustles, all my side basically all my side hustles come together, and that's how I make a living. That's the main way right there. You just do 7 or 8 different jobs, and The ones that work, you keep, and the ones that don't, you keep going. Oh yeah, don't you? CP.
For me, it was when I worked at
Nice. See, there you go.
a place called Rotebeck. Was when I sort of got this working man feeling about how men, well, people who work hard jobs, I should say, because it's not always just men. These jobs that break your body, like there's something about this world that is destroying people's mental health, right? And that was the job where I finally had something like a lightning bolt go through my head almost of like, man,
whoa,
this is really messing people up to be working this long and this hard, and they go home and they have to drink themselves to death to feel okay about it. There's something definitely messed up here, which is what kind of inspired me to get some kind of, something going, which is why I started Coffee and Contemplation, because I wanted people to just like start to think more about their world around them. And then you got excited about that concept and related it to Dig Dug, and I was like, that's actually perfect, because Dig Dug is really about fighting monsters, and we can relate that to fighting the monsters in your mind as well.
Yeah. I've been writing a little side story for Dig Dug for a while. I've used Dig Dug as art for years. I mean, when I was just a kid, I just drew Dig Dug, and then I was like, how can I different kind of versions of it, and what does it really mean? You keep digging into subject matter and like, why do I like this? Why do I like this?
Oh my goodness.
And the more you allow yourself to do that, you can really develop something. I'm with someone with ADHD, I'll tell you, man, long game's the only thing that matters, man. Because like dopamine and instant stuff is so exhausting, and it's hard to commit to that. But if you put in long game, I mean, Dig Dug's long game. I started playing Dig Dug when I was like 5 years old. Dig Dug's still part of my life. I never let it go, and not in a way that was like,
we're playing it on the we're playing Dig Dug during in the new year.
Oh yeah, dude, that was crazy. So years on a drilling rig. We got another first timer, man. That's cool.
We have Doug right there. Relic is Doug from Dig Dug. He was actually doing the drilling.
That's wild. I used to jackhammer and stuff too. I did hand digging, like just me and my dad. Like, we don't have excavators. We don't have money for shit. Well, yeah, hire us, and then we're like, well, we'll just do it all by hand, pour it all by hand. And
I feel that that was me working doing manufacturing. So Took, what I did for almost 2 years was lifting 600-pound steel pieces, helping the welders. I worked the paint department, so I had to lift them up and paint them. I had to chip welds and chip all this stuff. That work destroyed my body, and I only did 18 months of that. I only did 18 months, and my body was fucked up.
Yeah, no, Took's over here.
Yeah,
30 years.
33. That's a big difference, Took. Yeah, your body would be messed up, and all you got was an attaboy. That makes a lot of sense, actually, in that field.
Took, we can screw with Viking all you want, man. Like 18 months. I got 30 years into, man.
Oh no, 18,
but it's been off and on.
Well, it's.
It's been off and on.
I saw some coworkers at that place that had been doing it for like 15 years, 20 years. I don't think that place had been around 30 years, but they had some long timers there. And the people that had been there 15, 20 years, right? They were essentially a zombie. Like, they'd come in, they'd give you like a grunt as a greeting and go right to work. You'd see them go out to lunch, and they'd have the same sandwich every day. And my brain just kept thinking, like, where'd their soul go? And that's what made me like only last 18 months, because I eventually started to look around me and be like, oh my God, I don't want to get stuck in this. I don't want to get stuck in this.
Yeah, he's younger. He's a more sensible individual. He knows that it's not right. Like, a lot of us didn't know. It was like, like, oh, I'm allowed to feel pain. No, I'm supposed to just shut that off and just fucking deal with it. Like, you know how dissociated I am with.
Yeah.
Like, it's created problems, and Yeah.
You catch yourself in it all the time, though. I see it sometimes.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I think about it, but it's still I'm like I'm always trapped in between just the different realities of like
Yes, too. Yeah.
like being raised by John Wayne, and then like this really sensitive kind of version where it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like it's a push and pull. You know, how where do I want to land? Somewhere in the middle, generally where I always think I like to be. But oh yeah, you said too, Dig Dug. You know, it's fun. We use that as something that I've stuck with, and I've got side stories for my Dreamers Arcade stories too that talk about male relationships. So I was thinking about Dig Dug in that sense, and then when Viking was like, "Let's do this podcast," and I'm like, "Well, we're talking about everything that I'm pretty much thinking about." And it seemed to really work out. And the greatest thing was, I any of you heard of the Atari 2600 Plus? It just came out. Abso being the greatest mom that I could ever have, you know, a wife and a mom. She bought me an Atari, you know.
I gotta get the treats out to get the cat. But
Get that cat out.
Keep talking though. Took wants to see the kitty.
So if you guys don't know this, just long story short, they made an Atari. I brought this up last week. It's an Atari that plays all the old cartridges and new cartridges that are coming out. You can use old hardware. So it's kind of like I didn't have a working Atari. Best of both worlds for me. Like it's easy to hook up, accessible, and I got that and I hadn't played it. Well, when you came over, we broke it out. I'm not supposed to play it. I'm supposed to finish the room, my bedroom that it's going to go in. It's a very nice, ornate shelf piece for my mid-century feel. But I was like, hey, Space Vikings here. We'll break it out and play it in the living room. And we took a game, a Dig Dug cartridge. It's still in it now. It was on the wall, like pinned as a decoration above a windowsill over here. And it was 40 years old at least, the cartridge, and the cartridge had probably been tacked on the wall for over 25 years as just a decoration. I pulled the fucking thing off the wall, stuck it in the Atari, and Space Viking and he for the Atari,
first one,
never played Atari, and he played Dig Dug on Atari, which is quite a different experience. It plays well, but it's very basic in nature. And then I got a brand spanking new copy of the game Berserk, which was one of my favorite games.
Literally
and they've even brand new. They've even enhanced it. It has diagonal shooting now. It has bug fixes. It has the speech added in that wasn't in the 2600. Brand new box. I mean, to have new controller, to have new plastics, to have it nice and easy to go in there. And I was like, ooh, this slides in so slick, and I realized they even made the cartridge slot a little bigger. So it's, I mean, they figured it all out, pal. But here's what side tangent. Here's what a nerd I am. Abso was like, I ordered another game. There's a brand new game called Mr. Jump and Run, and it's the first Atari cartridge that has been released in 30 years, and I was like, man, I gotta get those before they sell out. And then Abso's looking on the reviews like, oh, this guy's complaining it didn't come with an instruction book. And well, okay, hold on a second. I know that seems nitpicky and stuff, but if you are a fan and whatever, I'm a little bummed out that they don't have an instruction books with them either. You know, you have to scan the thing because, yeah, we're collectors, and old guys like me are fucking losing their minds over this thing. But it was great. You got to play Atari for the first time.
Yep.
And my original Dig Dug that I played when I was a child. So, hey, can't start the year off any better for Ram. Oh, come on. E.T. I'm going to be playing some of that stuff, man. Well, the thing is, it's HDMI. So the arcade's getting back together. Once I start the Dreamers Arcade up again, yeah, I'm going to beat E.T., man. It's been a while. That game's like, you know, people shit on E.T., people shit on that Howard Scott Warshaw, is that his name? He made the best and worst games. You know, he made E.T. the worst. He made Yar's Revenge. That's number 1. He made Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yar's
That shit was
Revenge.
that shit was so fucking cutting edge. If you they're like RPGs. They were like early Bethesda games, man. They for what they had, that guy was ambitious, and it probably helped push where games would go. But anyway, Atari's a whole other thing. But to be able to play the Atari again with and then to have Matt and enjoy it for the first time. So that was a cool side note.
Tuke, we actually do have an episode sort of semi-planned where we are going to talk about the Mandela effect in a whole episode at some point, because it's a really fun thing to talk about. But yeah, I didn't know that ET didn't say phone home. That's interesting if he doesn't.
Yeah, just like
awesome,
it's
Tuke.
like,
thank you. We're almost there. We're at 40. Well,
hey, come on, guys.
We got 40 followers. We just need 10 more, and then we can have our Figar emote.
Yeah, we need some good emotes, and
we need our Hogboggin. We need our Hogboggin emote. Hogbog.
Hogboggin. That's right.
Nice. 42. That's the best number.
Oh hell yeah, man!
Mm-hmm.
We almost found that my power pole is 42. I think I'm 44.
Yeah, you're 44.
Anyways, that was from a few days ago. Anyway, so yeah, we're excited to start a new year. Dig Dug's the theme. Mental health. Men beating the shit out of themselves. It could be better for us. Like,
I mean, that's
artistic
what
yeah.
That's what we're doing. I mean, being an artist is kind of kept. We have to think anyway.
Yeah, we're so much more smarter than you. Listen to this guy. We do a lot more thinking than doctors, and
before that gets clipped out of context, it's not about intelligence. It's about
yeah, it's an introspective, philosophical view that I think we would be in more. That generally it's problematic because the working class dudes and stuff, like they're all beat up and tired, and we just want to get high and drunk. Like, you know, you get blindsided by the hard lifestyle. Like, yeah, you don't have time to be thoughtful, express yourself. And even in certain communities, it's like, oh, what are you talking about that for? You know, or, you know, not being allowed to be creatively expressive, or getting shamed for, you know, like liking color. You know?
I got fired from Rotobeck for painting a shelf to look better.
Well, he didn't get fired. He didn't get fired to paint the shelf look better. He got fired. Hey, dude, could you go get those reports? And he's like, yep. And then he went and he painted a shelf. And like, hey, where were those reports? I had to paint the shelf pink first.
The full story is that there was no other parts coming down the line. We were about 20 minutes behind, and the policy is that you don't just stand and wait. And there was, I looked around, everything was swept, everything was cleaned. People had other jobs they were doing, so I wasn't going to step on them and do their job for them. You know, like, I was like, I'm going to go find my own thing to do. And this shelf here, it looks like a piece of shit. It's rusting out like crazy. We're going to stop the rust from spreading. So we're going to sand it and we're going to paint it. They said I was destroying company property. I was like, okay.
This fucking guy over here is trying to do an art project. We need to get those goddamn fucking bits in.
all the bits were in.
Oh well,
I could have given them a bill. Honestly, there's a couple things I designed too. Like those of you who don't know, I'm a lover of science and engineering, and this shop was stuck in this is just the way we've always done it. So there's a lot of things where I redesigned some systems for them. And I should have patented my ideas, because I could be making royalties to this day for the shit I designed for them.
No, it's like Duke's saying you should probably bill them out and stuff. That's the thing. Like, you and I are at this level where we're like thinking about efficiency and different ways to make things run better. And yeah, that's in part being artistic. You do lean into that design and improvement area.
Mhm.
But yeah, like you're saying, yeah, you should have built them out for your work. And
Should have.
that's the thing that helped me. And I'm glad that you became conscious of this reality where like these people are fucking miserable and this and that. And it's like a lot of it too is because they get trapped under the blanket of working for someone who's probably like making a bunch of money
Yeah.
and just using everybody else's leverage. I mean, that's what a job is. But I worked for people for so long, and it's just like it's exhausting. They want to use you like a tool yourself, completely beat the shit out of you, max you out, and it doesn't matter because you're replaceable. But how does that help you? You saw through all that stuff very quickly. Back in the day, my father worked for mills. He worked for other contractors, and he got to a point where the mills would do stuff like where he'd get hired to do some contract work. And he tells me this story about he handed in this bill, and everybody had a contract who it had to be this certain way, and so he did the work, and then these forklifts came in and destroyed everything. And then because my father was under contract, he went and he did it again, but he just kept adding the labor. And they're like, well, we're not paying you twice. And he's like, no, I'm under contract. I have to do it. And you guys have to pay me. And it's not my fault that you destroyed this shit. So it's like he just had to be like, no, fuck you guys. Like, you're just going to pay for it twice. And he had to fight for that. And he did that for a long time. And when he worked for other people, they're like, hey man, if you get that window in wrong or you break it, you're fucking fired, breathing down his neck. And he got to a point where he got the window in that day, and he was walking over to get in his truck, and they're like, where are you going? He's like, I'm out of here. And he's like, oh, you did it. No, it looks great. That's perfect. And he goes, no, yeah, he goes, you're right. And that's why I'm fucking out of here. And he left. And then he went and he started his own business.
Nice.
And he just worked for himself, and that's like what I try to do. And it's a suck deal because like it's not consistent, and it's like you don't know when your money's coming. It's feast or famine. But
Was your father?
Yeah, it would at least you have the freedom. And so because of my dad's fucking attitude problem or attitude progression, you know, he saw through that shit too, dude. He was sitting there like, I'm not gonna die here. I'm not gonna let these people like he grew up like that, you know. He grew up subservient. He got to a point where he was like, no, I'm better than that. And he believed in himself, and he became his own boss. And it's not easy, but I respect him for just being like seeing through the bullshit. So it's good. See, you know, you, him, Hogbog, you know, the old man, and you know, you're both unique in the same, in the respect that you live in different times, but you are quick to see through bullshit, make changes, and hey, that's what we need to do. We don't all have to like fucking bend the knee. I will never work retail again. I will drown. So there you go. That's where my line is. There's just lines where I'm like, I would probably work for myself for the rest of my life, and if I can't make it that way, I'm not gonna go. I'm getting too fucking old. I'm Danny Glover. I'm getting too old for this shit.
I would rather drown than work retail again. Like, I would seriously rather, like, just straight up.
Yeah.
So like what I took what that sort of world taught me from Rotobeck, from like similar stories to your dad, and I decided I got to work somewhere where I'm helping the problem instead of being in the problem. So now I'm working for the homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, like, you wanted to talk about more, I'm going to kind of change the subject here, but you wanted to talk about specifically sort of a recap of the journey, and there was something you wanted to sort of change your mind on, I think you said. And I think that's a good segue into the deep dive there.
Where's the music?
It's coming. It's
All
coming.
Let us go into the deep dive.
Now we're in the deep dive. Why is the coffee? I don't even know what's going on. Got a mind of its own. Over here. Nice. There we go. Oh, tiny homes for the homeless. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, add the interest. Yeah, dude, tiny homes are dope, man. I got a tiny home, mid-century mobile, bro, and you can really rip down walls, which I'm still doing now, and build your shelving inside the walls and little compartments everywhere and slide doors. I got a pantry that opens up. You saw that. You saw the hidden pantry, bud.
Saw the hidden pantry. That was awesome. That's a great place to hide.
Yeah, I wanna have a panic room, dude. Like have a little staircase that goes down to a little like a concrete basement I can make.
Everyone needs an exit vehicle. I'm starting to call them. Everyone needs a vehicle converted into a camper, so that if shit hits the fan, we can all just go live in a commune in the woods.
Right.
We
if
all
the shit hits the fan, I'm not gonna run into the woods, dude. I'm gonna be there with a baseball bat over my shoulder and a leather jacket. Fucking.
You're gonna make yourself into a casualty, CP. That's what you're gonna do.
No, dude. Come on, bring it on. You think I'm that easy to take down?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not saying you're easy to take down. I'm saying that CP sketch versus a coked out random like.
You don't think I'm gonna be coked out, dude?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm just saying
hitting
CP sketch versus a coked out dude, or CP sketch versus a tank. Like, which
I mean, you guys view the apocalypse, but I know there's gonna be a lot around.
I don't know,
man. And there's a lot of drugs in the world. Let me tell you.
I thought,
and people are gonna be more fucked up to deal with it.
If you go by, well, if you go by the opinions of the internet, Ohio's where the apocalypse is gonna start, Took.
Thanks, Took, man.
Yeah,
appreciate you hanging out. And come to Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Scarlett. That's one of my favorite things too about my uncle, for instance, owns this like huge patch of land over here, and it's like, well, we could just sort of set up there.
Oh, too bad you didn't have 42 acres. You should sell one of those off.
Yeah, just sell one of those acres off, because like it needs to be 42. It has to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no more coffee. It's fucking done.
So CP Sketch here we had an episode. I even clipped it. I can bring up the clip if you want to sort of jog your memory.
I have an emotional episode all the time. Yeah, this was about this time last year, and this is just something I think I've changed my mind on or come to a different perspective on. That's what thinking in time does. You gonna bring up a clip, or you want me to just explain it?
Bring up a clip, but you can explain it if you want as well.
Oh, so basically, like I was just going off on a rant. You got the clip somewhere, but I was pissed off at my grandparents because there's reason to be. And my grandfather died last year about this time, and I was just kind of dealing with that, I guess. And my grandmother's the only grandparent around of the the quartet at this point. So I've got one grandparent alive, but yeah, I had something that I said that I don't think was probably right to what I need to do. And if you find that some of it's true, some of it's not. So if you find that clip,
here it is. I got
concerning that.
I just found it. You ready for it?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna bring up the clip of CP's sort of revelation from last year and how it's changed this year.
Try to refresh.
So I put it on TikTok because that's where I usually put a lot of the clips. We don't have a TikTok for Rise in Mind yet. This is on my Space Viking 42 TikTok. And I loved this revelation though, because I was sort of on this kick at the time of like, yeah, don't give in to peer pressure from dead people. I'm still on that. But when it comes to like what you were talking about, you've sort of changed your mind on like the lessons that your was it great grandparents or grandparents? I'm gonna play it now.
It's playing through the speaker. Like my grandma value me anymore, and this is the day that I was going to start being me and take myself serious and fuck those toxic people from your past. Yes. You don't have to honor the mother and father just because people tell you. And I didn't. And that night, dude, this is weird. I found something, an item that I had gotten from them, these wooden candlestick holders that I loved, and I don't want any images of them anymore. Yeah. I don't want any images of them because they remind me of them. So I burned them that night. I burned them and said goodbye to my grandfather forever. And he will never be put in the Dreamers Arcade. He's never going to be used as a metaphor, dark one. They don't get to be part of my life because I choose not to. They got to create me, and that's what they get. But I have to put energy in people like my grandfather.
That's the clip.
Value me anymore. Yeah, I was reading it more than anything, and I'm still like a little bit behind in the delay, but because my shit's running super slow.
You're basically saying that you don't want them in the Dreamers Arcade, and that's what you changed your mind on, right? I think they should be in the Dreamers Arcade.
Well, I think what is happening. So I here. Okay. So one thing I think is wrong is I think there's some truth in that, and I do agree with energy meets energy, and you and I would imagine agree on that, especially over the last year. If we wanted to talk about something, I think that was positive in the wreck of 2023, was creating a community of different friends that were much more supportive, and we're putting energy into us as people, and we were reciprocating energy into them. And it wasn't like they weren't one-sided relationships, shit like, you know, when you're younger or you have your high school friends that you just knew, or you friends because your moms were growing up, you know, whatever reason. And then as time goes on, you realize, oh, I'm different people. And it's kind of confusing. Because there's how people work, brother. That's how people work. There's an energy that you and I are connected to, and then there's those energies that, you know, you and I connect with, and then of course if you and I connect with it, then we're probably it's a given, like, oh, you're gonna like this person, then I'll probably like this person, and start to build a community of like-minded and caring people. And that's awesome. That's what I think is something we've done successful on a small capacity here on Rise in Mind over the last year, and that's a win. But man, I do believe energy's energy, and they didn't put a lot of energy when I was speaking about like my grandparents. Want to run away because there's only two ways to deal with this: it's fight or flight. Yeah. And I realized, in a way, sure, burning images of them, getting rid of physical things, that's some Marie Kondo shit that makes sense. We all have objects that sit around because we've collected them, and it's like, oh, this reminds me of a relative I don't like, or this reminds me of an ex I don't like. It's like, why the fuck do I have this here? Like, this doesn't make a bit of sense. So that's kind of what I was saying about getting rid of objects. But the idea of like they don't get to exist anymore was me, I think it's true, but it's also me not wanting to deal with it at the same time. And I've had this thing that I've struggled with for the course of the year. And it's a certain part of my personality. As I subdivide it into different groupings or like a people or vibes or whatever you want to, like, to try to get to know each side, I've realized part of my personality that comes out and I don't know how to deal with it. And then one day I was like, you don't know how to deal with it because it's outside of the door and you don't know what it looks like anymore. and it could look just like your grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
And you might not know. Like you're gonna have to open the door and figure out some of this shit, even though you don't want to deal with them. So I'm starting to realize the monsters that are down in the Dig Dug world in my version here in the Dreamers Arcade, and kind of in our version too, they're really my grandparents. They're monsters that have created all these problems that have made me scared, make me hide in these tunnels. And at some point, I just have to say, it's over. I know what you look like, and you're not real, and watch it just fade away. I can't really close the door and make that decision until I've figured out what the fuck it is that's disturbing me from them. So I think I still have some shadow kind of work to do with my grandfather. And I think it messed me up a lot last year. And thankfully I pushed past it because I had a very tragic fall, and we'll touch more on that as the year goes. Honestly, I just told 32 like the last 3 months, and he goes, I don't even know what to say to you guys right now. And I'm like, I don't either, dude. That's why I'm high off edibles eating a peanut butter sandwich right now.
What'd you tell to Wait, what'd you tell to who?
32, you know.
No, I don't understand.
My old podcast mate, you know, but 32 French, he's doing his music thing, and man, he wants to go back to fucking Vietnam. He went and did a tour with the embassy to Vietnam and Saigon, and he got to do all these musical performances and meet all the local people and buy clothes and eat their food and have great coffees and dance competition, all this stuff. And he had the greatest time, and now he's like back in the Maine cold, and he's like, I gotta get out of here, this sucks, you know.
I see. He's like,
he's just not having fun, and like I get it. And so episode just kind of like kicked back what's happened since the last 2 months. The last 2 months and a week, it's miserable. But you know, it's a lot to process, so I have to go through all that this year. But I feel like I kicked grandpa back to the side, which I'm glad, because now that it's been a year, I think sometimes you have to kind of put it away.
mm-hmm.
And give yourself time. But I don't want to feel like I'm full flight mode too.
Don't want to feel like that.
Because I've done that before, where it's like, fuck you, you're not worth it, you're a terrible person, ghosted, you know, like kind of things like that, like where you just know it's not going to work out. And sure, fair enough, you walk away, but it's not good, because if you don't resolve things and you just walk away and you keep closing doors to them, you're not going to know what bad shit actually is on the other side of the door. And you know, I got my buddy Trent. He's like the cynical kind of side of me. He's part of my writing. So I create these characters, and they help me sometimes in conversation. And I remember like Trent usually shows up before the grandfather part of me kind of takes over, the rage and this anger. And I remember one day I was just like, Trent, what the fuck do I do? He's like, well, you don't even open the door to this guy, man. You don't even know what he looks like. And I was like, yeah, you got to start seeing what it looks like so you know what you're up against. You're fighting a ghost, dude. And then I was like, see, it starts to make sense, because what are the things in Dig Dug? Back to the top of the conversation, the Phi God. They're apparitions that ghost through rock, dude, and appear from out of nowhere. And a big bald thing with goggles on and a snake. You know, that's Grandpa and Grammy.
Grandpa and Grammy. Grandpa.
Yeah.
Grandpappy. I didn't really have that where I felt like I needed to put them away, or I've done that with exes. I actually had like a box of love letters from one ex that I threw in a fire. It's like, why am I hanging on to this?
Dude, I think I have some kicking around. Maybe I threw them out, but I might have some from 30 years ago, from like high school and shit. And I don't know why.
You might have some in your coffee cup. You might have them in your coffee cup even.
I think around the rim is like
There's some love letters.
Oh yeah, 1994.
There's some love letters in the rim of your coffee cup.
Yeah, 1994. How do I adore? I love you. No, I don't know.
2024, do some more.
Do you know why I kept anything like that? If I kept any type of love letters or journal,
Why?
it's never for me, because I have this ridiculous.
It's like a respect thing.
No, I have a view of myself that's like self-important, I guess, because I know this is me and this is my life and this is all I get to govern. And I'm always trying to figure out like, what's the point? What's the message? Where do I want to connect with people? Well, that's the thing. It's mainly about connecting with people, but I found value in keeping all that stuff because when I go back and I rewrite this thing that I'm working on with the Dreamers Arcade and the semi-autobiographical narrative timeline, guess what I have? I've got sources. I've got actual stuff that I wrote, from 30 years ago that I can fact check.
I see.
I've archived my life basically, and Absol's like, why do you remember all this stuff? And I'm like, it's because I think it's important in the story, maybe at some point of my life, that essentially be the Dreamers Arcade story. But until I write it down, until I start talking about the door grandfather's behind, or the door, that I'm too scared to open, or start blowing the whistle on what it's like to be a working class guy, and like the shit that you were talking about, how there are people out there being destroyed and working too hard, and should they be put through this stuff for what?
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's sustainable.
This is the stuff I needed.
That's the big thing.
It's what I need to talk about.
I don't think that lifestyle is sustainable, and that's why we have 60-year-olds with their bodies completely broken. Like they're only 60, and their body is gone. Yeah. Like they might as well be in a nursing home, like some of these people. Like that's how, like my dad was like that. That's the example I have, is that my dad's body was completely destroyed. At 62, he was acting like he was 80.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Because on the opposite side of it, like my dad, like I said, he's done it his whole life. I've watched my father fall off a roof. That was the worst. I was like, slow motion. Am I going to walk down and find my dad dead down there? And I found him in a pretty bad position. I had to call the police, dig out snowbanks, get the whole town in. And it was a thing. And I've seen him have some really bad times. But at the same time, maybe he can't really turn too much to look in his truck as much. He lost a little mobility, but 71 years old, and that guy still do roofing. I swear he's in better shape than me as far as climbing. Yeah. I'm like, damn, dude. But it's like, it's hard to say. I do believe in people. They should be active and strong.
Yeah.
Because you will live longer. I'm not, like at the same time, I don't want people to just like sit at a desk and not, have muscle, because it's
like working hard when you're working.
It can't. Yeah,
that's not the problem I'm talking about.
Working hard or hardly working. I thought that's what you said.
The problem I'm talking about is the lack of, like, when you don't take breaks and you think that working later is going to make your boss like you more. You don't have a hobby outside of work. You don't have something that brings you joy outside of work, like that. There's an actual hormone in your body. I think you're aware of it. You've probably heard of it through your self discovery. Cortisol.
Yeah.
If you let cortisol build up, it destroys your body, and that's the stress hormone. If you stay in a stress state for too long, you get weaker. You heal less quickly. Your food doesn't get absorbed very well. Like whatever you eat doesn't actually become nutrients in your body. You'll gain weight faster.
Mm-hmm.
The stress hormone is what can kill you before anything else, because it will trigger other diseases. And I fully believe cortisol is what actually killed my dad. He suffered a massive cardiac embolism, which is the kind of heart attack where you're dead before you hit the ground.
Damn.
And it happened hours after he got back from the hospital. They literally cleared, and then they said you're fine. But
Yeah.
that cortisol can build up and it can weaken parts of your body. And my dad also drank and smoked because he was trying to bring that stress hormone down, but little did he know his stress release was also destroying his body in a different way on the other end.
Yeah, that's, like Matt's great because he's always like trying to fucking stop smoking CP, like, but you know what? It's like that's the other side of it.
Yeah.
A lot of therapists are like, yeah, they don't encourage me to quit smoking.
Yeah.
Even though it's bad for me, the other part's probably worse for me because like the stress hormones, the cortisol that I build up, if I can't get away from people and if I can't like do a thing that puts me in a hole, and I have been smoking this year, so that'll make you feel better. But dude, to not have those breaks, I can understand. And I don't drink I don't drink right now. That's about how I say it throughout my life,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a couple years at the fuck, dude. I think right now I'm like 2 years off the drinks.
Good on you. So you're like the smoking's one thing, but if you combine smoking and drinking, goddamn,
the drinking was killing me, dude. Like I saw a meme the other day. It was hilarious. It was like drinking at 20, and it was like a dude just like have it was like Zac Efron.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like drinking at 30, and it showed Ed Helms from that movie, The Hang, all beat up and walking around. Then it said drinking in your 40s. It shows E.T. from E.T. all dying, like all freaking gray, and the FBI agents. I was like, yeah, dude, it's about right. Because I drank in my early 40s for a try, and I was like, dude, you do not recover. When I was 20, I would just keep it going.
I have like one glass of wine and I feel it in the morning. I'm like, oh, shouldn't I drink that glass of wine?
Wow. Yeah,
but
man, you get affected. That's wild.
The reason I bring up that thing about my dad though is that your dad and my dad, it's interesting. Like I feel like they worked equally hard, but my dad didn't have an outlet. Like he didn't love it. He didn't love what he was doing.
Dude, my dad hates it.
He does?
Yeah, my dad hates this type of work.
Is your dad's body healthy out of spite? Is that like,
yes.
It's just pure spite. It's pure spite keeping him alive.
Pure spite and stubbornness. Pure anger,
This
dude.
is where I this is the part of the episode where I go, we're not experts, and generalizing is hard. It's hard to avoid.
I'm an expert. My dad is pure Sith Lord. That's my diagnosis. Embrace your anger. That's dude, and that's what sucks because that's how CP used to run for most of his life. You're weak now. You're not strong. Remember all that shit. Remember how they said you weren't gonna. You start pulling that stress hormone as energy.
So would you say you have authoritative knowledge on this?
What? No, I don't know. I know all kind of. I'm like fucking Dinklage. I used to drink and I know things.
Oh, I see. So I'm just trying to like you and I are experts on a lot of things. Don't get me wrong. We do have authoritative knowledge on a lot of things. Like ADHD.
I don't know if I'm an expert on anything, but
well, that's just where like I don't want us to get into trouble when I say my dad died because of cortisol, right? I don't want to just say that and say that's definitive. I know it was part of it, but your dad apparently has a lot of that stress hormone too, and he's like in very good health. You said.
Yeah, I mean for the most part, he is high cholesterol like any guy.
Is your dad an it is what it is mentality?
No, my dad. So one thing that probably is significant, and just it's easy. My dad doesn't drink or smoke.
Right. Oh.
So that's a big part.
That's a huge part. Yeah. Your body.
My dad.
If you stop drinking and smoking, your body will heal. I think in less than a year, it'll go back to what it normally should be.
But that being said, my dad didn't stop drinking or smoking that much sooner than your dad could have. Like my dad, I don't know. I think he stopped drinking maybe like he might have stopped drinking like 20 years ago. It's been a while. But
my dad didn't stop up until he was 62. He never even tried. Well, he tried to quit smoking, and he didn't drink for quite a while because of the Mormon thing. But after There was a couple things that happened in his life. He just started drinking again. I never really talked to him about it. I wasn't sure like why he started again, but
Yeah, just it's ebbs and flows. Like it's the same reason where I've been off again, on again with both the habits, and yeah, it's just like
yeah,
it creeps in. It creeps in. Fall changes. It gets cold. It's like, hey man, remember remember
yeah.
me? I used to hang out and be your buddy. It's the same thing with alcohol, and you're like, yeah, well, no, let's fucking hang out, and then it's like,
We got
I'm back. I'm back into it. And Scarlett, you're right on there. My
everybody.
grandfather, yeah, everybody. My grandfather lived to be 93 years old. Smoked, I think, up until the day he died. Ate candy, had no fucking teeth. I mean, this dude was a mess. And yeah, he was a stocky, kind of rugged, lanky dude when he was younger.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's genetics. A lot of it, like a lot of people, they smoke one cigarette and they're dead. It's like it's however you go. But and that's kind of why I abused myself a little to stop drinking at one point in his life, and he was smoking cigars and up until the end of it, so he wasn't like a regular cigarette smoker.
Right.
He'd like chew on lit cigars while he'd be like shoveling roofs and stuff, and I'm like, dude, that's so not good. Like, how are you breathing out there in the cold, the cigar, like, yeah. I mean, that's just a hardcore dude. But he didn't want to be as I've said before, the baddest motherfucker in the cemetery. That's what he decided not to be. He didn't think he needed to be that badass. To where he was the baddest motherfucker in the cemetery, like Leroy Brown. And he saw my dad's smart enough to learn values and lessons in his experience, and that's where you and I are. Some people just take a knee to this stuff, and my dad was used to being abused, but like get to a point where you got to say, like, is this healthy for me?
Yeah. My whole deal with smoking is when I got exposed to it, I had already gained the awareness of what it can do to your brain and your body. I was in my like late 20s when I had my first cigarette ever, and I felt it. I could feel it in my brain going, ooh, I want more. And I wasn't even finished the first cigarette, right? My brain was already starting to get activated with the more please. And I was like, nope, don't like that. I put it out. And my friend who had given me the cigarette, right? He was like, you can't waste that cigarette and like pick it up then. I'm not smoking any more of that. I don't like that feeling. I don't like my body being slave to something.
Hell yeah, dude. Slave it up.
And I feel like we got a little bit off track, but I do like that we're focusing on our health some more. And I don't want to ever like feel like I'm bossing you around. When I say don't smoke a cigarette, it's just more like I don't want to see you die from something preventable. You
have the right to say whatever you want. That's just how it is, and I have the right to say what I want.
I get fearful of the people pleasing thing. Like I don't want to lose you as a friend because I keep like badgering you about something.
No, dude, because I only put up with stuff for so long, and then I'm like, no, you're not gonna win. But you're allowed to say your piece. Everyone is, as long as they're not fucking annoying.
Oh yeah, I try not to be annoying about it. Normally I'll just be like, what are you doing? Just like you smoking a cigarette. I'll be like, what is this?
We have our own politics, man. We have our own beliefs, and I think anyone is allowed to have any beliefs as long as they're not annoying about him.
Yeah.
And annoying means being bothersome and to the point where they're going, you're wrong and you need to be over here.
Wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong.
Yeah, wrong is wrong. Or you're doing like or you're being violent. Like I'll show you.
Oh yeah, I don't like the violence is stupid when people get violent with their politics. Like, yeah, but
they're just but it's fine to have an opinion. Just you have to understand that in today's world, you can't just keep mashing out those opinions like people do on the internet because there's consequence in the real world.
So what made you change your mind about your grandfather though?
I don't know, because it was hung up. It was bricked up, dude. I don't think I should like. I don't want to be fueled by this. What they're fueled by, like that resentment, resentment or hatred. I don't have to having the hatred. Like I was trying to get away from having the hatred because that's why I think I wanted to be indifferent. It's like you just can't come over. It's not that I don't hate you. It's not that I don't love you. I was just willing to be like, no, no, gone. And I can do that. Like, but there's also a presence of what that experience has helped form me as. So I'm just trying to be mindful. Like, well, you don't have to, whatever. And I have nightmares. I had a nightmare, strangely enough, about my my grandmother last night. Like I just have these.
Oh, about your grandmother?
Really. Yeah, she's terrifies me. They terrified me. That's why I don't want them to be part of my life, because they're fools. They're the boogeyman. They scare me. And any manifestation that I had in dreams, that's a lot of that has to do with them. So you can see why I don't want to like be part of it, but I also don't want to like stand there and be like, I'm gonna run away and hide under the bed. I want Kevin McAllister in Home Alone when he comes on. I'm not afraid anymore.
I'm not afraid.
And then the guy steps around the corner and he screams and he runs back under the bed. But I want to be more like Charles S. Dutton, an alien. Like I'm willing to fight. Like you put me in a bad place, and I'm not going to not acknowledge that. And if it becomes therapy in my work, I didn't want to have it like that. I didn't want to have to go in there and deal with it. I guess I wanted to just move on. But I think in a small way, I have to deal with it to set it aside. I have to say it like in a different context. Like I have to tell them they can go away and they're not here in that arcade, because it's part of me moving on. Like I didn't want to like even give them the honor of being there, and I don't think I do, because it's more metaphorical. But it's been a hard thing to work through, but I have to do it because it's like I think it's a key part that's messing with me, like messing with me in a way that I don't fully understand, because I just want to be away from it, but I have to process it. It's you can see that it's kind of like
that's where I'm at too with some of the most recent stuff.
Yeah, it's not like fleshed out, but it doesn't have to be. Like I'm dealing with something now with a customer and helping someone like navigate their daily life, and it's becoming very.
Do you mind telling that whole story? Because that's actually pretty relevant to how talking about with your grandfather too. I remember you had said that's what kind of got you rethinking about that.
Yeah, a lot of it is the people that I always saw as my grandparents who weren't my actual grandparents. People that I've worked for the last 30 years that were really influential in helping me trust humanity, to believing in myself and nature, to exhibiting kindness, to showing gratitude. These people are renowned around the community of being some of the nicest people. And at the beginning of December, I was over there helping with some snow work, because it had just snowed, and they would travel around and drive around a lot. And unfortunately, one of the customers, the older gentleman, he was just spaced out. His brain, he didn't know where he was. Come to find out, he was having a brain bleed and a hemorrhage, and helped him get inside. And then I went to get the number of the ambulance, the mailbox for the ambulance, and I heard this crazy crash. And I went inside, and he'd fallen over, and his wife was on the phone with the paramedics, the police at the time, to get the paramedics. And so I was comforting him, keeping him, from getting up. He was supposed to stay down, and talking with the police until the paramedics showed up, and it was just surreal. I was really grateful that I happened to be there, but looking at your hero in the eyes, like is he going to die in front of me was a lot. And then I was, like I said, I was grateful that I was there. He went to the hospital. I was able to take his wife there. And when I went in there, he didn't, he wasn't, really, but he just smiled at me in that recognition. And I was able to talk to him for a second. And I felt, we were talking about connected energy. I mean, my grandparents and I have never been in each other's lives at all for anything. But here's these people that I just worked for, and I'm doing everything I can now and ever since then to try to help them through this, because now he's been gone in the hospital a month, and he's now down an hour away, and I'm helping his wife get down there, and I take her for drives and I help her with the yard stuff, and I'm working with her sons. We're trying to just take things slow because I was a little stressed out about how things were going the other day and responsibilities, and they helped out and they said, like, yeah, this is just, it's gonna take time. It'll all work out in the end, but it's just, it's a process that we're all gonna go through. And they thank me for helping, and I'm compensated for this, so it's helping me too. But I mean, what an experience! And now I see this. He's a little more coherent, and he's just like, he remembers who I am when I see him in the hospital. He thanks me. I squeeze his hand a lot, and I tell him, he means a lot to me, and he's just really happy that I'm helping his wife. And it's tough because I've seen two really smart people really start to destabilize in their lives, but also in their minds. And we do this Rise in Mind podcast, and it really changed the way that I look at life and things. And I can see how people connect through energy, and even when they barely know each other, even when their brains are not even really there. It was a weird, and it has been a weird feeling, and it's an experience where that's why I'm tired today. I get so exhausted. You want to talk about, I've never worked harder in my life just trying to sort all this stuff out, and I'll be out 10 hours one day, 8 hours another, and just the pressure in my head hurts so much, and I'll just break down, like, at all the pain that I've just kind of held on to. And from seeing him in bad condition and trying to help, like, it's tough. It's like playing, when you're dealing with people that don't have short-term memories, it's the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with. They literally just say the same thing over and over again. But I love these people, and I do anything for them, and glad that we just are there. So yeah, now the grandfather that I love, the not blood grandfather, is in the same position as my grandfather that, I was nice to him. I saw him at his house. I called him in the hospital like once, but it just wasn't genuine. And I was like, I wish it could have been different, but it was just how it was. And I'm trying to process and deal with that on top of how I'm dealing with this. So I think that's why at this point, so much changed from losing close friends in the shooting to losing the stability in my friends' lives here. And there's more. There's tons. It just kept, there's other events on top of it.
It was the shootings, right? The shootings?
Yeah, I lost a really good friend, and I went to art school with my friend's fiance, and he had a daughter, and there's a lot to it, and I'll talk more about that some other time. I don't want to minimize that either. It's like I just have so much stuff that has stacked up that I really couldn't even address. Like, once the shooting happened on October 25th, it was a floodgate of every week a new thing happening, and they've built up yeah, I'm super resilient, but man, it's numbing. It beats the shit out of you. But I've been telling people, it's like I've been trading in a little happiness for some strength, because this stuff is strength building. But yeah, it's gonna definitely be a new year. The end of 2023 is difficult.
Rise in mind, you rise stronger.
I know, and we are working currently on an art installation it's called Artworks on Main. It's a gallery space in my hometown that my wonderful professor runs as a studio and sometimes an exhibition space, and we are doing something for my late friend PBR, the Grundle Lord.
Grundle Lord.
Peyton,
Do you have any links?
Ross.
Do you have any links for this event? We could link it.
No, it's I just started it, so
okay.
Peter set up the table. He put some stuff in, and I'm cleaning up the space. And I have a key, so now I can come and go as I please and network with his fiance. And Abso's going to do some. So we're finally, I think so here we are in the beginning of 2024, kind of working through some of the stuff that we're still hanging on to on that end, and that's just one of the aspects. And yeah, the stuff with my long-term friends is a day-to-day experience. And losing your mind is tough. I've seen what dementia and Alzheimer's can do, and that's really fucking scary. That's a real scary, when we're talking about rise in mind. Like, there might be a day, dude, like you're talking about your father's body not working, but there's another side of that, like your mind not always work. So use it while you have it, guys. Live. My advice for 2024, it's probably real depressing as hell, but it's like live your best fucking life and be close to people, because I know people who are just starting their lives. My friend my friend was a young man about to get married with a 2-year-old who just got an engineering degree, and that was the start, dude.
Yeah.
But it's not. And it's like, how do you explain that to people, what the purpose of that was?
Can I add to that?
Or yeah.
How do you explain that? That's a good thing, but
yeah.
I mean, if you
can't.
if you
Which we've been trying.
if you do focus on being the best version of yourself, I want to just add to that a lot of the start for me being the best version of myself was cleaning house in my mind, figuring out for me it was like a freight train hitting me, though. It wasn't a pretty process. It was becoming so sick of my own shit in the matter of a day, complete hatred of myself and who I'd become. That's what it took for me to start going the other direction. Being like, if I hate myself this much, then what the fuck am I doing? Why do I look at my own life and go, this isn't what I want, this isn't who I want to be? How do I start the process of going the other way? I didn't have any friends that were on that same journey at the time. I didn't know anyone, or I didn't have any tools at all either, so it was slow. A very slow process. It was a lot of I guess you could call it looking at signs from the universe. I had to look at where's the trumpet, where's the flag waving that the universe is saying, yeah, that way, keep going that direction. I had to look for anything, and no matter what you believe, there's certain ways you can tell yourself that what you're doing is the right thing, and that was just my way.
Yeah, looking for landmarks to kind of guide you, or tells, or things that might pull you in a direction when you're living in confusion. I understand that. When you're dealing with FOMO, it's like, well, I don't know what to decide. Can somebody point me to the exit or entrance? That's how I feel most of the time. how do I start this? I'm sitting here. I need clothes. Do I? It's
That's been this year's journey for the most part for Rise in Mind, is getting some shit together, you know?
Is that your phone ringing?
There was a phone ringing.
Why are you not turning off? Hey, someone's
It
walking
is.
by. They have a corgi. One of our neighbors has a corgi. Queen's fucking dog rolling up on the old lane here.
Yeah.
Man,
So the
my
past
neighborhood
year
has been gentrified, apparently.
last year's been pretty rough for me as well. And for me, it was much more like personal, emotional stuff, but also like feeling through U and M with everything that's been going on over there. And there's just been a lot of bullshit in the world too. Like I've been having trouble with compartmentalizing. Usually it's very easy for me to go, I don't live over there. That's not my fight, you know, all this stuff, right? But there's been so much destruction going on the last couple of years that it's been hard to let go of it. It's like, why won't people just stop killing each other? It's really easy. I go out in the world, right? I do my stuff, and it feels easy for me to not kill other people. Like I don't ever have the desire to end another person's life. I don't know how you can get to that point. I mean, I have ideas, I have theories.
I sure as hell do. No, I understand where people approach things for the most part, like where despair, hopelessness, coinciding with mental illness, substance abuse, all these things can just drive somebody off
illness,
the deep end.
Mental illness and substance abuse, that makes it even more tragic in my mind, because they might not have even meant to do that then. Like it's the person who they are is underneath whatever made them kill another person. And that makes it even more tragic, because in their mind, they're going to now grieve the person they killed, and they're probably already grieving the loss of themselves inside their own mind.
Yeah, it's some real heavy shit like that, and the only problem is, it's just a separate story, man. Because there are many different worlds here on Earth, and there are some that we never get to see. But the world that we see, we don't always understand. Like, well, why did this guy do this? Why is this person messed up here? Why did this happen? Why aren't we doing better? Why is this so expensive? It's because it's a game. It's a set of rules that another tier has orchestrated. And the unfortunate part about being on the bottom tier of this stacking echelon is you wonder, it's like, well, why are they doing this? Or why don't people understand that poverty and mental health and substance abuse is all connected? And then you start to think, well, they're not dumb. They do know. They're just not part of it. We're part of the tools and the machines and the cogs. We're the men that hold the gun for the military. We're the man that pumps your gas or stands and breaks the rock apart. It's like, Fight Club. It's like all these guys on the bottom that do everything, but just don't get compensated. And that's what that I think about a lot here on RAM. You talk about being abused. Why do I have to abuse my body? Why do I have to beat myself up? I have a choice, right? I don't have to do that, right?
There was a post I saw recently that there was this guy that was complaining about a woman selling their body on like OnlyFans or to any sort of pornographic sense, right? And
well, then don't buy it.
And another man had responded to his post and basically said, "You think she's selling her body? What do you do every day? Working 60 hours a week, making next to nothing. You come home, you're exhausted. Whose body's really being used here?" Like actually being used. Like her body is being objectified, but she's asking for that when you do it in a pornographic sense. You're asking for compensation for your body being looked at, right? But from the other sense, your body's literally becoming a tool for someone else to use for their profit, and you're not actually profiting off it. And in many cases, you don't actually want to do what you're doing. Who has the real power in that comparison? She's got way more power than he does, you know, in what she's doing.
I mean, it seems like a better deal. I'd rather wank and get paid for it all day than fuck dig a hole.
Yeah, it's like, here's the thing though, if I was getting paid like $60 an hour to dig that hole, like I might be more apt to want it. I might be like, I'm getting fit, I'm getting paid well, I might be feeling good, but like the problem is we're not getting paid well. So many people are not getting paid well for that kind of work. You're not getting paid what is worth. Like, yeah, my body's being used for profit. Okay. But am I also gaining profit from this deal, right? That's what starts to really hurt. That's the biggest takeaway from this year is like I'm no longer working. I'm living my wage. Let's put it that way. That's my most recent thing is like I'm definitely living my wage. Like if I'm only getting paid $18 an hour for what I'm doing and it's barely making me survive, then I am going to have these breaks where I'm sipping my coffee and I see the email come in and I'm like, I'll answer that email in 10 minutes. I'm going to enjoy my coffee.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like I'm gonna actually have a good day. I can choose to have a good day because I'm living my wage. You know.
Man, you're such a slacker.
Yeah, fuck me, right?
This fucking guy's screwing off, just sitting there phoning it in, just phoning it in. Yeah, it's a really heavy subject though. Like this idea of what are we doing with ourselves and our bodies? An OF versus a construction guy digging a hole.
Versus we're in the same battle.
Well, it's people. I mean, I don't know if like millionaires are out there doing road construction work and millionaires women are doing OnlyFans and stuff. I think.
Well, Relic has a great example. Relic said former UFC fighter Paige Vazant was just asked about this recently because she said she made more on OF than she did fighting. And she said the same thing. She was selling her body and health to fight.
Yeah.
That's actually concussions. Like you're talking broken bones, torn tendons. And I bet she wasn't making as much. Yeah, she said she was making more on OnlyFans and not destroying.
Did Paige also work for WWE for a while too?
I don't know. I'm gonna look her up.
I'm just asking Relic because, and I think Paige also came onto Twitch when the pandemic happened. I think a lot of like wrestlers and different BC list celebrities used their fame on the Boomer Tube and came over and kind of swept us off our feet, you know, like, oh, hey, you guys were grinding over here. Like so she's using like, that's a career. That's the thing. Like what Relic's pointing out there, it's like UFC fighter, maybe wrestler, maybe Twitch streamer, maybe some sex stuff. Yeah. But it's like, it's all this younger, beautiful person who's in shape, like utilizing themselves as a commodity.
Well, that's the thing, though. Is
that wrong? No, I don't think so.
I do want to bring up that there are a lot of OnlyFans accounts that are burly guys. There was a guy, I wish I could remember his name so I could link or quote properly, but there was another post about a guy that said that he was like, I had my fans on Twitch joking around about me doing an OnlyFans, and I'm like, oh, I'll do it as a joke. Right? And then he started making really good money. Apparently people really liked seeing this burly guy like just have some fun, right? And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. He just went for it. And now he's like, you know, I'm making more money on OnlyFans than I did on Twitch. And I'm just chubby dude because people are into it. Like he's like, I could never have expected it. It's like not necessarily just the people who are good looking, you know, conventionally good looking. And it's not just the people who are in shape. And he was pretty popular. He had like a good maybe like 3K people on Twitch, right? But he ended up having like almost 10K people on his OnlyFans.
Damn.
It was like, damn.
Yeah, and you know, like all these platforms, Twitch is part of it. You know, like streaming is something that people can get into, you know, without a lot of capital or overhead, right? You know, like these days, I mean, I started streaming. I got like a $20 Connect for an Xbox 360, and that's how you just build it over time. But
that reminded me of something interesting. Bit of a tangent.
it's something poor people can do is what I'm saying. Like all this other stuff. You know,
that's
like
a
we
selling
have
point though. That's a selling point because like when I started to upgrade my stream, like I was starting to make money from Twitch, and I spent that money on new equipment, and I actually saw a decrease in viewership and follows from having higher production value. I think
you got an HD camera, and they're like, "Look at this fucking guy.
Yeah,
he's a monster.
He's a monster. He's a monster." Well, I think it's the like it looks overproduced. I think that's what happens. I think people think, "Oh, this looks too real. Like I don't connect with this. I don't relate to this anymore."
Okay, so we got to keep RAM pretty fucking bare bones still. That's the key.
It's too late for that. I've already overdone it.
You went too hard. You went from zero to 60, man.
Yeah, I went too hard. So we're getting close to the end of the deep dive here. Basically, we just sort of recap the year, like sort of going over what our values are, what we believe, like why this is important. This podcast is important. Why we've been on this journey to begin with. Is that we want to sort of give a voice to the working man, kind of help people realize that it's okay to feel the way you feel, and you got to let it out somehow. And I think it was Took had said earlier, sometimes you come home and you have to, before you go into the house after work, you have to scream. Like, for me, it was music. I'd listen to heavy metal and I would just like scream the lyrics and get some of that shit out. And I don't think I ever want to need that again. I haven't needed that in a while. I don't think I ever want to need that again.
I did that for the first time in a long time about a week and a half ago, dude.
After when some of that shit was going on.
Oh, I was just going to go reconnect with a strange family after I was dealing with all this shit. And my mom called me to tell me my aunt was dead. So I was like, fuck this. And yeah.
And scream. Did you use music or did you just scream?
Yeah, music was on there. Oh, I was mad. And then I canceled the day and went home. It's just like
we're done. Like this day is over. Yep, I've been there too. Like, shit. Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. It was just a lot. And like, I don't know. I think the year kicked the shit out of me so much that it fixed some things with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I literally got so many hits that I was like, oh man, this snapped back into place, and oh shit, it can't get worse than this. Like I do well when I hit the bottom, and I'm glad it's not like something that I did. I'm glad it's not like me coming to terms with being fucking an alcoholic or something, or
when it's actually out of your control, right? It's something that's actually out of your control.
Like, yeah, I got to eat better and smoke a lot less. That's something I'm working on, but it's not destroying my life. I didn't end up in a situation on myself. I'm doing everything I can. So that's what's helping. I'm doing everything I can to help me, to help Abso, to help my friends, to help these people that I've known. I'm not backing down. It's tiring. But dude, do you know what's happened? I'm driving my friend around and she's showing me all these new roads. She's showing me like old school, like not using GPS, using atlases and stuff, showing me like these views right here in Maine that, go up on ridges and see these like lakes and stuff that I had never seen. And I get stuck. You know how restless I am. I get stuck in these cars, and sometimes I just drive around in circles and we have the same conversations and shit over again. And it's something else, but like I've really needed some grounding. I needed to like have to be forced to be stuck in an area for a while and look at things differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting some different stuff already starting this year. And as far as health,
good.
We wrote some stuff down, you and I, and Yeah, we can move into the breath of fresh air on the positive stuff that we're already doing.
Well, I do want to do like
you want to
a.
finish this up?
Let's start thinking on what were your biggest wins this year? Like we can talk about the hard stuff to the end of time, but let's get going on some wins.
Well, that was a good thing.
Take a little time for the breath.
Didn't mean to shut you up there. It's time for the breath of fresh air.
I just need to know when they come in.
That's why I do the flash though, but there's a delay. You're right. There's a delay. I should do it. I should give you a projector of the whole stream, for the Discord stream. So you get it first, and then it gets sent out. So Relic actually said this past year tried its ass off to break me. Bank froze the account, claiming mafia-related activities, having our card hacked, double billed, and not getting reimbursed. Been in and out of court. Had an aunt move back in the state after 30 years to say she was dying. Wow. And then wins though, there've been a few. So let's get on wins. What have your wins been, CP? I'm sure Relic's typing. So.
Well, Relic, I'm glad you're having a fucking great year too. It feels good. Like as fucked up as that is, one of our buddies, one of our buddies was having a tough year, and I said, he goes, oh, I don't want to. Everybody's got their own problems. So fucking nice. Everyone's got their own problems. I don't need to dump more shit on. And I'm like, dude, dump more shit on. Like,
dump it on.
When you tell me your problems, it actually helps me. Yeah, it helps me troubleshoot, and it also like makes me think that I'm not alone. Like, hey, this guy's fucking with me.
Pile it on.
Like, hey Relic, you want to get some connection. You know how I'm doing right now? I'm on a day-to-day 5-gallon kerosene fucking run. I can't do the 100, 200 gallon fill-ups like normal poor people.
CP is what you call old poor.
I gotta get the gas can and go, hey, I need 5 gallons of kerosene every day, and they're like $22.60, and then I fucking fill it up and figure out a more efficient way every time to fill the can and a different way to prop it and make it easier. But I'm doing that. It's
$22 or $226.
5 gallons of kerosene, $22.60.
Okay.
It runs. You get about one a day, brother.
Damn.
Cost me about $22 a day.
I have a theory. I have an idea for you, CP. Those cans. How much does the gas can cost to fill it up and then bring it back home?
Oh, you think I should get more?
I think you should have 10 of them, and then you go and fill 10, and then you don't have to make as many trips.
It did cost me $300 probably for 10 of them. They're like $30 to $40 a piece. Sorry, I didn't mean to go into solution mode. I was just listening to your plight as well. But no, what I think I might get another one, because I think doing 10 at a time. But I mean, I'm making money. That's the thing. I'm working like I said, it's feast or famine.
Mm-hmm.
And in my line of work, I had a lot coming in all of a sudden in November, but it was just enough to like keep certain projects going. Keep this going, keep that going.
Mm-hmm. And those were
unlike Adam Sandler at Applebee's, I can't have it all, pal. And
we like to reference our dudesy here on the show once in a while.
It's the one podcast I've watched consistently, I think, for the couple years. So it's hard to keep my attention. That show, if you have ADHD, start dudesy and learn about AI.
So some of your biggest wins is being able to continue to find work and keep the house warm.
No way. I mean, that's
not the wins.
Like,
okay.
that was like me waking up one morning and I was like, I think I'm broke. And then all of a sudden, like,
fucking broke.
And then I went out and did something, and all this tragedy happened, and I was like, oh no, now I have a bunch of work. Like, I mean, literally, we had a fucking disaster, in here in Maine. The rivers flooded. I was helping people like rip carpets into pieces, like $8,000 rugs. I don't know, crazy Oriental rugs and shit. And then I had like trees smashing everyone's houses. I was doing estimates for friends and trying to just figure everything out. It was a fucking mess. Most Mainers didn't have power for 5 to 7 days, and it was like Christmas time. But in my line of work, hey, now I've got a lot of people to check up on, and hey, look, there are things to do here. There are things to do here. You know, there's stuff to do, and I'm so busy right now with this one helping this one couple, and hey, that might not be much longer, and I'm dealing with that too. Like that was a steady thing that I dealt with for a while. Not only am I probably lose that connection to these lifetime friends, we're family now. We basically, she told me the other day, she's like, you guys are family now, and it was just like, it was sweet. And she might not remember it the next time, but it's nice hearing these things. And we're doing a really good thing, and she's helping us out, but she might go somewhere else someday, and I might lose that opportunity. And I'm dealing with like, then what do I do next? But
what do
I'll
you
figure
do
it
next?
out, right? I'm winging it, dude. I'm raw dogging it. Dude. I'm just
2024.
raw dogging 2024, raw dogging more.
So I think I'll bring up what
the breath of fresh air.
Well,
Relic doesn't have any notable wins.
No, I just want to bring up
few wins, but
what Absol completely had us do when I was there. 2023 reflections.
Can I go grab that? I go grab that book
go
and
grab
maybe
it.
a drink?
Yeah, go ahead, and I'll go through mine while you're grabbing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Because you've heard these already.
I got a technical difficulty screen now. It's 2024.
Reflections on 2023. We had some big wins, right? So we'll go through relics here because he popped up. We got my daughter, after years of being on the competition team at her dance studio, finally earned her solo. Oh, fantastic. The wife got a better paying job at a nursing home closer to home. I found out I have some of the most amazing friends in Storm, Vlad, Rabid, and Rust. Still feel undeserving. And your brother is finally getting some kind of closure. I feel undeserving of the stuff that's happened to me sometimes too as well, Relic. I feel that as well. Like Storm's support has been amazing. And I hope to one day find a friend in you. I feel like I get trapped in labels sometimes, like associate. I feel like I already have a friend in you, but when it comes to like, you gotta build up to like being friend. Rabid's awesome. I just met Rabid. Rust? You mean Rusty Boy? Because Rusty Boy started following me recently.
I got my own. I got my own grill. I got my own sound effects. Back from technical difficulties from the ethereal heaven. Here he comes.
So we're just going over. We're going over Relic's wins here. You can read that.
All right. My daughter. Okay, after years of being on a competition team at her dance studio, finally earned her soul. Right on. And I love that stuff. That dancing stuff is real cool. I went to like a recital before, and my in-laws were like, why do you like this so much? And it's like, I'm an artist, dude. This is really cool. Like, it's amazing shit that these kids are doing. So good on her, man. My wife got a better paying job. Hey, mine too, and that helps. Nursing, yeah, all right, closer to home. Fuck yeah, man, killing it already. Found some amazing friends. Yeah, Storm. Hey, brothers on that one. Mm-hmm. I met Storm this year too. I met him. I gave him a big hug. And he was like, this guy's fucking odd.
This guy.
But no, he's cool. I still feel underserving.
Undeserving.
Undeserved. Nah, dude. My brother is finally getting some sort of closure. All right. Good. Yeah. So, you get good things. Like the last 2 months has probably been more bad shit in God only knows how many fucking years. But it's ebbs and flows. I feel that life does not give you all bad or all good.
Ebbs and flows, man.
And so there you go. And so yeah, Abso was cool. She had us do some exercises, and I have mine. He made a little dream book, and it's even tactile. So
Dream
tactile. And if you open the front of it, it has Don't Dream It's Over by Crowded House lyrics and some things. And what we first did is I had you do a little grateful exercise. And
Yeah, we did a 2023 like reflections, right?
and we did a simple thing you guys can do right now. It's easy to do.
Join us in this.
You write,
even. Yeah.
Yeah, you write. You just say, any day, anytime, what are you grateful for? And it doesn't have to be a lot. Like, I'm great. I could be like, I'm grateful to have met Festina, and she blessed us with her art and her making. And I did this. I wanted to make kind of I saw what she did, and I was like, you could make like almost like a Settlers of Catan board with your style. And I picked out fabrics and, for the forest and the desert. And she, I paid her, and she made me this and other ones. And, I'm grateful just to have this thing and to know good people in a different part of the world. So I could say that. I could say I'm grateful for Pac-Man my mom made, or I could say I'm grateful for just Matt or you guys in the chat. Or what I wrote particularly on the day we did this was, 1, starting a new positive year. We get to hit reset, right?
We set it up.
Some people, those months, you need those finite kind of time. You're like, well, you could already be like, oh, I botched the health, portion of this month, being that it's only the 6th day of the month. Oh yeah, I've already fucked up. But no, you're not supposed to do that. You seize the moment anytime. But I find a start of a month, start of a year is very, very inspiring for me getting organized. I had a cleaner house. My wife is smart, and she knows when shit gets too disheveled over here, invite a friend over. Then we'll go into some kind of mania and fix this shit like a friggin' one-nighter. And the color orange. Hey,
so much
it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I became obsessed with orange because I realized it was an obsession of my whole life, and I've been leaning.
Things you're grateful for?
He's been leaning green, and I've been leaning orange. In fact, I've got my orange clipboard, and he's probably got his somewhere, probably filed in his butt crack, which I'm also grateful for.
It has to stay in my butt crack.
Space Vikings butt crack is what we all should be grateful for.
It lives.
You know what I'm saying?
That's where the clipboard lives.
All right. So that's where the clipboard
is. In my butt.
And then having friends to be creative with. This guy who actually...
This guy.
You said this to me at the beginning of the year. It's like, oh, man, it's fun.
Where lives in orange.
The people that want to do stuff. Like, I'm just happy you want to do stuff with me. Like, that's my Matt, I guess. Hey, I'm just, yeah. I'll get you a van. Hey, I'm just happy you want to do stuff.
I am happy that you want to do stuff.
And so you said that, and it's like, you run with stuff, and that's great. That's a good thing for me to have someone who wants to go on a crazy kind of adventure and with projects. And then warmth. As much as I'm complaining about the heat, but I can go down to the store and I can get that 5 gallons and dump it in and be warm as hell here, and it's probably like 15 degrees out there. I could be the cat we saw getting chased by a fox the other day. And
speaking of orange, both of them were
break it up. Yeah, you heard about that story. But
they're both orange though too.
I know.
More orange.
Dude, everything's got to be orange in the Rise and Mind world. Orange. And even the animals know we're all set in the orange neighborhood. So do you have your list of things?
I do. So we have this is what Abso had us do. I've got the reflections of 2023. And I had something that made you feel special. And I was like, the support of new friends and peers. So it was like, I was thinking of Storm. I was thinking of you. I was thinking of how Joe is so violently supportive. He's like, get the fuck up and do your shit. And I'm like, okay, all right. I'll do the thing.
but that works with you, right?
Sometimes. Honestly, I resisted it though. He sent me a picture and said, work on your damn book. and I was about to work on my novel that day, and then I didn't because I got contrarian in me. I was like, fine, no, I'm not gonna do the thing you tell me to do.
Oh,
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it
but it
helps
might-
though.
but it might work later when you start being contrarian, and then
Yeah.
and he's like, "You didn't do a fucking thing last week," and then you're like, "Well, fuck him. I'll do it to spite him."
Now I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
That'd get me motivated. Yeah.
I got to travel to Maine many times for different reasons. I traveled to Maine, to Bridgeton, Maine, with my close friend, and then I traveled to your Maine of Dreamers Arcade.
My Maine.
That's your side of Maine. You're on the mountain. You're on a mountainside.
We're in the we're central Maine. So you went to central. So you went to both centrals. You went to Abso's 40th in central Maine.
Yes, I've been lots of different Maines.
You got to see the Dreamers Arcade a week ago, less than, and you got to see some of my city murals, and we took pictures in front of the working ram wall we have. Yeah, we got our own ram wall.
We do have a ram wall. I got images of that. If you want to see those. If you're ever
gonna do art for yourself, figure out a way to make it for everybody else, but then really put yourself in there and it's get everything you can out of your work is one of my advice things. Like, make it everything you can. You don't always get to paint on a wall, so in a city. So, you know, when you get if you work and you get the opportunity, and it can be done. I'm nobody. I just grinded, and you go out there and you do it, and you meet people, and now we've got the Ram Wall. Ram Wall 2024. That's a milestone. We made a Ram Wall. I made a freaking public piece of art. That's a Ram Wall, dude.
It's like, ram the wall. I also had man. Top 3 memories, right? There's another one. There's Rise in Mind Retreat. Rise in Mind Retreat, guys, was awesome.
Hell yeah. That was good.
4 dudes who have been through some awful shit come and forget their troubles for a while, and that's what the Rise in Mind Retreat was all about, is to like talk about stuff, get it out, and also forget about it.
Oh, dude, I had troubles following me that whole weekend, buddy. I had phone calls bringing in the trouble.
Fire and forget weekend
with you guys. The troubles couldn't even. I had such annoying shit happen when I was over at your place. I didn't even want to get into it, and I was in such a good mood. I just dealt with it. I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude, because I was hanging out with the Ram guys, and like when we're a team, that shit can't even get in. It was great. So that was one of my top things. My reflection was, also having the support of friends and making new friends and establishing the community, which I've been doing for quite some time now, and I'm always happy to keep going. And and Salem and New Hampshire were some of my top places. I think I went to both of them more than once. I went to Salem twice last year, and I didn't travel much, but I ended up in Salem twice. It's not far. And I went to New Hampshire, I think 3 or 4 times. Well, yeah, because we were just at the Home Alone house, and then we did the Ram retreat. I did the when we did one live. That was right before. That was around Halloween, right? The one from your apartment.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was right before Halloween. Yeah.
The what do you do? And then we did the Lake Winnipesaukee retreat. So yeah, at least 4 times I was down your way, and I love New Hampshire, and I love the White Mountains.
It was like top 3 memories.
Yeah, mine would have been I liked. It was tough because
I had the Boston trip that I went to for my damn self. First time I did something just for me.
Oh, really?
In a long time. I went to the Science Center.
Ah, the museum?
And I was going to go Christmas shopping, but then my friend I had to bring back to the airport. It was at 6 a.m. So I ended up not going Christmas shopping, but at least I went to the Science Center. It was fun. Something I did for myself. Finally,
Nice.
I should go to the movies by myself more often, for instance.
Dude, do that. That's
Yeah.
fun. I still do it now. Like if I haven't done it in a while, but like I love just going to a movie. I did once last year. I went and saw Cocaine Bear by myself. That was fun.
Cocaine Bear. It'd be an awesome one to see by yourself.
Yeah,
That'd
like,
be
who
awesome.
cares? You know, it was like 1 PM. Abso was at work, and I was like, I know, I got a couple hours to kill. I'm gonna go watch this Cocaine Bear. You know, and I had fun because going back to the movies was fun too. You know, I didn't get to go there during the pandemic. I didn't go, so it was good to return. But
what was a tough lesson you learned? What was your tough lesson? I'm kind of fast tracking this because I got to be done at 1.
What's the tough lesson part? Was that being more vulnerable?
What was
more vulnerable?
What was the tough lesson you learned in 2023?
Where did that come after? Was that because I have those 3 things that I liked, like Salem, the Ram Retreats part of that. I had a good family barbecue. That was a toss up between going to a market. Actually, that's another one. That's 5 times in New Hampshire, dude. I've been fucking hanging out with you all year.
You might move to New Hampshire.
I'm pretty much living there.
You
now.
might have to move to Mount Washington and set up your Dreamers Arcade.
I know, if they'd let me, right?
Yeah.
Come on, let's kickstart that shit. Fucking national landmark. They need a horrible stack of trash on it. Let me ruin things. I don't know. I have under there being more vulnerable, but I don't know. I think that was something I was.
That might have been the. Wasn't that a goal?
Maybe.
We have I have like resilience we had mind, body, and heart goals, and I had resilience.
Yeah.
And I had fitness, and then I had self-actualization under heart.
So we're into I put the battle strategy, and I have the mind, body, and the heart. And before that, I think it was like stuff I was happy for, or something that I accomplished, and I think it was being more vulnerable.
Yeah.
With everybody from my friends to this to just in Instagram, even like just putting out like, hey guys, I'm sad, like I've never done this, and just want you to know, like, you know, everybody gets fucked up, and my shit's fucked up. I need coffee. Thank you.
It's fucked up. I need coffee. I had then we also had my tough lesson was don't put anyone on a pedestal before they've earned it. And I keep relearning this lesson every year. I feel like I relearn this lesson probably every year or every couple years, because there's always someone that I put higher up than they should have been, and I made them a priority. And I should have
the person that's not paying attention to you, right?
I should have made myself a priority.
Yes.
Sometimes it is like a contrarian thing. Like whoever's paying the least attention to me, I try to impress. That's a very human thing. A lot of people will do that. I'm not saying everyone would do it, but it's pretty common.
So I realized that was a significant flaw that I dealt with, and a lot tied into the ADHD part that I didn't really understand, where I thought it's about people pleasing, it's about being agreeable, mirroring, all that stuff. But it gets really hard when all of a sudden you're killing it in front of a room of people. And then like, it's almost like being a comedian, right? Like, not that I've done that work. I love comedians, but like being on stage and killing it and everybody's laughing, but someone's not. And you just see that one person and you fixate on that one person who's not laughing. And you're like, what am I doing to not win them over? And it's now it's like, now you're my focus. The thing is, that person could give a shit. They probably don't even want to be there. They don't want to be out at the comedy night. Could be a lot of reasons, right? And
or they just they don't laugh. Maybe they just maybe that's just not how they enjoy comedy shows. Maybe they're just entertained, silently entertained.
Like, I found that to be quite funny.
That was quite enjoyable. Yes. More, please.
Matthew, that was quite a good witty joke, how he spun it around and then brought it back to the beginning.
Thank you.
They're laughing obnoxiously over there. They're so
what a bunch of animals over there. Yes. Can't you just enjoy the show like the rest of us? Why do you have to
control it and have a commentary and a conversation like
yes
educated opera men?
Who is your chosen family, CP?
Well, you guys, man, the Ram Bros and fucking
Chosen family of 2023.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, so our con people, I got a lot of love for. We're a motley crew. A lot of us are business associates, become close, and then through con stuff, that's how we met, and we've known each other quite some time, and now we're actively doing projects together. And this is like, RAM has become a small community, but
Growing.
I'm happy that I'm happy that
40 followers.
I think we got a couple more, didn't we? It didn't update?
Oh, I'm checking now.
Anyway,
I think that update thing is actually update thing is pretty good. I think it does update accurately, but we're gonna double check here. If you're watching the show and you want to help us get to affiliate, we're trying to get to 50 followers, because I think we have every other thing done for gaining affiliate.
And if you're catching us on other platforms, man, and you're hearing and you have a Twitch account, yeah, please follow us just so we can get up there. If you're friends with us on other platforms, just so we can use these different emotes and stuff when we it'll enhance the show across all platforms. So
enhance us, please. Enhance us. We would like to be enhanced.
But at the end of the fucking day, I'm just happy. It wouldn't matter if it was just us, dude. Like, we're working it out, and we're helping each other. We're
tricking the system anyway. We're using Twitch as a hard drive. that's what we're essentially doing. The real show is over on YouTube. If you want to like go follow us on YouTube.
Well, we'll be able to stream on both soon. You know.
Yeah. Actually, I think I think they already implemented that.
Yeah. So I'm excited. So we've got potential for growth. We've come a long way. I mean, we went from a coffee and contemplation show on Space Viking 42 to an official show that is almost affiliated, that is on all platforms, that has assets, works, a community that's inspired people. And as I've shown at the beginning of this show, I was able to see bullshit, call bullshit on myself.
Yeah.
Because I kept hearing certain clips. The clips are important. I hear them on Instagram. I show them to other people. And I'm like, well, what do I want to stick with? What do I want in 2024? What do I want to...
No, that's answer that question.
What do I want if in reviewing what we've done, right? I want to work on my work here and go through, listen in the background in entirety, all our stuff. I've listened to bits and pieces, got a sampling of it, but I'd love to just go through, and now I have the ability, and you have the ability, listen to how you fucking sound in conversation and what you're saying, and then what you're saying every episode that's not resolving, or what you're saying 6 months ago that now maybe you don't believe in. Like, you can hold yourself up against yourself with this technology. We're doing our own kind of shadow therapy work by just recording this. And like I said, I always wanted reference. I always wanted a journal I could pull up from 30 years ago. Well, I've been recording myself. This is an archive too. If I die tomorrow, I'm still alive here on the, it's amazing. Forever young and beautiful with a little
Forever young.
Hey.
Forever beautiful.
Forever young. I want to be forever young. I'm going to play that at my funeral. Yeah. It's going to make everybody cry. I don't want to live forever young.
That'll be it for the show today, everybody.
Yeah, wrapping it up. And as far as my mind, body, and heart, I'm going to love myself more. I'm going to work more on my body issues and things. And end of the year, I was hoping we'd be in this calendar.
Gotta physique, do it up. Like 2024 is going to be the year of the ram. Screw that dragon. We're going to beat that dragon down.
All right. Before we leave, one thing you want to do with me that's obtainable in 2024.
Yeah, one thing I want to do with you.
Yeah, one thing you want to do.
I want to make a burlesque calendar.
All right, I started this fucking ball rolling down the hill, this rock rolling down the hill, and I might get crushed by it. But
well, we're gonna get fit, and then towards the end of the year, Oh, more like towards the beginning of the year is when we're gonna do it because we want it to be warm for the beach one.
It's gonna be like 2025, guys. Fucking July. No,
well, then
we have a goal in motion.
It'll be the 2026 calendar then. Well, here's the thing: we're gonna take enough pictures that we're gonna be able to do a couple years worths of calendars.
Hey, we could improve. Hey, there we go. Every year we could. That's incentive to get even in. Hey, okay, I like that. I would like to hike. I want to hike up Mount Washington, dude. I don't know if it's the biggest. I don't know if it's the biggest part.
Let's set that as the thing then. Let's do that.
Well, that's your thing is a calendar. This is my thing. This is what I want to do.
Okay.
I want to go up to Mount Washington for a lot of reasons because the dream is arcade, but I want to also get in shape and you live out there, so I want to spend some time with you doing that. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Would be hiking mountains. You know, me and my circle are getting old. People age fast, dude, for a lot of different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still out there running around, so I'll take my handsome young ass Viking with me to make sure I can get up to the top.
Who should we raid?
Ooh, to the top.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Relic. Thank you so much. This has been Rise in Mind. Love you all.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys hanging out. It's fucking awesome, man. And I'm glad to have some like-minded people. Now, I'm really happy right now because this is what I wanted. Like, we got real Rambros in there, like trying to have family.
We're gonna raid another podcast.
They're doing. I know. But you guys are here. I don't fucking care about that other podcast.
What?
I care about you guys. I care about you guys.
I care
and
about
I'm glad
them.
that we're building a community of tough dudes who can talk some real shit. And it's not just for dudes too, man. This is if you're a woman who gets pissed off because you want to be more like one of the dudes, or you're a dude who wants to be more like one of the girls.
That's cool
We're
too.
all fucking humans. Yeah. We don't know what to call you. Rambros is a tentative title, and I don't think Ram Hose is something I want to.
No,
that's a little too ICP on the nose. Shout out Juggalos. Woo woo.
Fucking magnets.
I'm down with any cults and cults and not cults. Probably the wrong word.
Magnets. How do those work? Electromagnetism, brother.
But welcome to 2024. It seems like the future. We're gonna take us into a raid. You got someone to raid? I see.
I don't have an idea. I don't have an idea yet.
SAUR capital PUSS is an art person right now. I don't have. Oh, there is Coffee Talk with Duo, but I haven't talked to him in a million years.
Well, let's go talk to him.
No, it's weird because now I don't know there's too many people in the channel. I don't know.
It made it weird.
Oh, the Gooey Cube's back on.
We can go raid Gooey Cube again. I haven't followed any of his other stuff though, so now I feel bad.
Let's do it.
Let's just raid him. Okay.
Well, we did it last time and it was good. Let's gooey it up. The Gooey Cube. This guy seems fun. I don't know his shtick yet, but he does a lot.
All right, we're starting the raid. All right. What do you mean use unraid? What are you talking about? No, I didn't mean to do that. The heck? Start raid. Okay. There we go. Wait, if I click out of it, it stops the raid. All right, you stay. Stay in there. We're doing it. Yo.
You're fucking up.
Yo, listen. Listen. We're raiding. We're going in. We're going in hardcore. One new raid. What's this? We're waiting. It's got a timer. It's on a timer. We don't need the timer. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. We're gonna go raid the Gooey Cube. Enjoy them. Bye for now. Much love, everybody.
Bye.
Never skip brain day.
Bye.
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 Shame in you telling a tale. With
all right, end your stream.
You just want to
end it.
You can be a man, right? You can stay here for the night. Rest your head upon my stay.